What's up, everyone? This is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well myself. Um, all right. As the title says, I am going to react to the whole Andrew Wilson reacting or confronting and outing and owning Daisy Chen, aka Ling, aka Fresh's ex baby mama, aka Daisy. So that's what we're doing today. This happened yesterday, so I had to obviously talk about it because it was fucking hilarious. Shout out to whatever for just kind of, let's be honest, it was a bit of a setup because you know that Andrew's gonna own this broad, and he did it beautifully. But shout out to whatever for the setup. Um, they did really good. Even Brian did really good. You really ended up just confronting her on what she did, and didn't really let it deviate to the whatever Fresh did, um, because he doesn't have a Fresh in front of him, and they're talking about her, and she really just ended up failing in like the worst way, or or depending on your point of view, the best way. Uh, she just ended up like just I don't know owning herself. Kind of funny, honestly. But yeah, that's what ended up happening. Um, so we're gonna watch it, and then we're gonna go over. I also participated in this by sending some chats during the roast segment, asking her a few questions, um, and then I have some uh, posts or proof from back when uh, Myron last what was it? Myron last talked about it. So we got those things going. She didn't really answer my question. I had a very simple question: when did you have the baby, or when did you abort the baby? Because if you didn't know, she did end up aborting the baby. So I asked that simple question, and we'll check out her answer. Wasn't very satisfying to my recollection, but I do have her YouTube channel up. Anyways, let's get into it. Before we get into it, really, make sure you follow me on X at official W Ghost. That's the best way to find out when I go live, and you could also watch me live while I'm on X. That is also an option. So check me out there. Um, Follow me on Rumble, rumble.com/with ghost, YouTube, youtube.com/at with ghost, twitch.tv/official with ghost. Those are the various channels that I am on. My gaming channel is on Rumble is Gaming with Ghost, and on YouTube is at Official Gaming with Ghost. So check those out. I've been streaming some Helldivers. Probably do some more Helldivers streaming on tomorrow. So yeah, I've also been covering the Trump trial in the mornings. I had to do things today in the morning, so so I wasn't able to actually do it live, but I did drop a video of day 15, which was Friday. Tomorrow I will obviously be going over yesterday's, which had Michael Conan um, doing his testimony. So we'll check that out. Um, it is a good possibility that prosecution is going to wrap up this week at the end, by the end of the week at the latest. But I thought that was so far. They still haven't quite proven the charges. They have said that because if you don't know about the Trump trial, Trump's on trial for his alleged falsifying business documents. They have yet really to actually shown that Trump did in fact falsify those business documents, or not documents, business records. So far they have yet met their burden of proof that Trump falsified the business records, or even that the business records are were falsified. Now again, they have the rest of the week to do that, so we'll see what happens. Yesterday they introduced into evidence the records that are they're alleging have been falsified. So we will see. But yeah, so check out my coverage of Trump trial. Obviously, I cannot stream it because it's not streamed because I think it's a federal case and federal courts don't generally live stream or have their courts in on the TV, which I think is the dumbest thing of all times. But they don't do it for whatever fucking reason. So I'm going with the CNN live updates, which I'll be honest are fucking terrible. But I'm really hampered by what I can do. There's not much I can do. I really wish this was live so I could watch it live. But anyways, let's get to it because we're not here to talk about Trump today. We're here to talk about Ling and Andrew just smiting the floor with this broad. It was quite beautiful. Brian did an okay job, and then Andrew just finished her. Let's see. We got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to probably have this go at 1.5 speed. I'll have closed captions on to help, just because there's a lot that they talked about. Like they talked with Daisy, pretty much. I mean, there's some other blonde chick that apparently is mad at Fresh. But let's see. They started with Daisy really like about this part at 4, 8, and 50. So 48 minutes and 50 seconds in. And they end up finally getting off Daisy at 3 hours, 31 minutes, and 40 seconds. So they were pretty much focused on Daisy and Noel, really, from 48 minutes and 50 seconds in, all the way to 3 hours and 37 minutes and 40 seconds in. I guess because the 3 minutes 31 is when Andrew goes off on him. So yeah, it's a long one. So I gotta do 1 minute 4 and 5 seconds, or else I'm just gonna be here all night. So that would cut that down pretty close to half. So we'll see. I might skip stuff around. Maybe, but maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So just be on the lookout for it. If I skip around, I'll let y'all know. All right. Obviously, because you'll be watching it with me. All right. So again, shout out to whatever for doing this. They really exposed Daisy, and also she ended up rage quitting. Now they did a hilarious thing at the end. Like at the end, they did this hilarious thing where they allowed TTS to their talk to text that I fucking hate on whatever. It's one of the reasons I think they're subpar. But they did a hilarious thing with it. They lowered it to a $20 amount and basically let her get roasted. Now, I think what Brian failed to do here, this is my opinion. I'm sure if he watches this, he's probably just going to say, fuck this bald-headed moron. I'm just going to wipe my ass with his opinions. But I think what they messed up on is they should have just done on 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, because Daisy and the blonde chick here, they both ended up fucking Fresh, and he ended up like selling some sort of dream to the both of them. So they should have really just had them on, and then it was Brian and Andrew. So what it should have really been, because again, this took 3 hours. So these poor women here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, these four poor women had to really just sit there for 3 hours, really, and have the center of attention be focused on these two dumb broads. So I think Brian should have done just a 1-on-1, 2-on-1, whatever, 2-on-2 actually, I guess, because him and Andrew was a team. He should have done that instead of a panel one. That would have been, in my opinion, a lot better. Again, he probably, if he hears this, he probably just wipe his ass with it, because he's like, who's this bald-headed freak? I don't give a fuck about him. Which he should. That's he definitely should. That's just my opinion on it. But anyways, so let's get into it.
Ironic? Oh.
So I'm going to get through some of my questions. I have some questions for you, some questions for Noel, and then Andrew has some questions. So I'll just try to get through mine as quickly as possible. And then Andrew has a couple questions, and then we'll go from there. I think a good starting point, though, is so you were involved.
Sorry.
with Walter from the FNF podcast, and you guys were dating.
Yeah.
And can you just give us a quick, maybe 30-second summary of kind of everything that's gone down, and then we'll get into the details.
Okay, so yeah, I've dated this guy. He was the owner of the podcast of Fashion Fit, and I met him on last year November, and then we started to become official in December. End of December, it was like New Year, so he made it official. He posted us on YouTube. Caption was, "She bought my mom a gift. Now it's serious." And he asked me in person, like, "I want you to be mine, no other guys." Then I went back home for Chinese New Year. Then we started talking, like, you know. Then I told him I was going to move to Miami, and that's what happened. Then when we actually came back to Miami, I stayed in his apartment for more than 2 weeks. Then I got pregnant.
What I'm trying to do is kind of like get enough of her in there while I am, you know, allowing the subtitles to be front and center. I wish they would allow me to at least be able to like push it, like, you know, put it above or some shit like that. So I wish I could do. All right, that's all I can really do. Sorry. So I'm trying to, like, you know, get side hidden down while I do this crap. But I think I got enough in. I think I got most of myself in, so that should be all right. And you should still be able to listen.
Then when
she allegedly got pregnant. No, she apparently was pregnant because she ended up having an abortion.
Found out I'm pregnant, he already broke up with me. That was like 2 weeks later. I stayed in Miami.
He broke up with you?
He broke up with me before I found out I'm pregnant.
Okay.
Now, something to note about this. She doesn't disclaim this, and none of them, I don't know if they know about it, but none of them really asked. But apparently, she took a pregnancy test in front of him and his mom. It was negative. And then a week afterwards, she came back and it was positive. So some background there.
Did he break up with you?
I don't know. He just switched off.
It's probably because she realized this bitch is insane, which turned out to be true.
Which I found out later that he might be playing the game the whole time. And he didn't want the kid.
Here's the thing. All right. Like, you can maybe give some grace to Daisy because, you know, allegedly she didn't know who Fresh was when they started dating, so she doesn't know how he runs his game, blah blah blah. But that can only really get you so far, because look, let's be honest, like, these guys are fairly public. They're fairly public about their views. They're fairly public about how they move and stuff. So, like, if you come to this guy and then you don't realize that this guy's just, you know, a player and sells a dream, it's on your fault because they have a channel. They're on them. Like, I would think, like, you know, if I was being an intelligent individual, if I were to go and date someone and I knew that they have a dating show, okay, and I've been on it before, I knew at some point, you know, because they tell it to me, blah, 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 I would probably do my own research and see, all right, what is this person's views, or at least what do they say online when the camera is on? What do they say and what do they do? And, you know, if they say they sell a dream and it appears to be they're telling me everything I'd like to hear, I'd probably be a little cautious. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. I'd just be a smidge cautious and be like, all right, well, I mean, you're telling me this, but then all of a sudden you're on when I look you up on your show, I watch and you say you sell dreams. So are you currently selling me a dream? So I just be cautious. I just wait. I mean, you know, it's one thing if, you know, people don't know who you are and you're just some random nobody, but when you're online and you're actually advocating for your views and shit and saying these things, you probably, you know, it would behoove some women to actually look, you know, watch what these guys say online because they're all they're all over the place.
So when I called him, he told me, "I don't want the baby. You go get a pill." That's it. That's
okay. Actually, I did have one other question before we delve into this. Actually, you know what? Maybe.
Yeah, she did. He told her that he could get the pill. Now, again, according to Fresh, they had an agreement that they were not going to get pregnant. They were they weren't going to get pregnant. They weren't going to do any of that because anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. But so they apparently agreed. They weren't going to go for kids. They didn't think that it'd be good. They didn't want to go for kids. So that's what they agreed to, according to Fresh, or I guess according to Myron. From Fresh's mouth. But Myron says this. So that's according to him. But then obviously there's those text messages where they're going back and forth, being cute. Oh my God, those be our kids. I knew you'd do this, or some shit like that. But again, there's those texts are suspicious, specifically because on her text, on the little window chat, it says Fresh. Now, someone apparently that you're in love with and you care about and you want to have their kids, as she's gonna later say and claim, why are you having their stage name Fresh on there and not their given name Walter, or even like some sort of pet name? Okay, that's what I'm trying to wonder here. That's what I'm wondering, and I'm kicking myself because I could have fucking asked that question. I didn't think of it. I asked her one question and I didn't think of, oh, let me ask another question. I'm kicking myself, so I'm a little irritated because I should have asked that. That probably been a better question, but we'll see. But whatever. What can you do? All right.
We'll come to it at the end. I was going to ask you, kind of, did you do any dating when you were living in China?
No.
No dating. Okay,
I cut it off. Like, I was completely solid.
Okay.
Okay. And now that's what she claims. Now, at the end of this, you gotta sit there and ask yourself, do you believe what she's saying? Do you believe she wasn't dating anyone else? It's up to you. All right. You're gonna have to like listen and watch and see all the contradictions she makes, and everything, and just wonder, is she telling you the truth?
It's unrelated to the Walter thing, but I was just curious about perhaps the differences in terms of dating in China versus here in the U.S. Or those differences. But we'll come back to that. So
Yeah.
I think you went over timeline here. So you met him in November. Is that correct, Daisy?
Right.
And then you broke up in February or March?
March 25th, he broke up with me.
March 25th, he broke up with you. When did you find out you were pregnant?
April 1st.
April 1st.
I did a test. I had a pregnancy test on April 1st.
Okay.
So that's like, I went ahead and I texted him. I showed him the pregnancy test.
Okay.
Then he's like, I'm going to call you back. Then he told me I don't want any kids.
So you took a pregnancy test. You were texting him. You let him know.
Yeah.
And then not long thereafter, he wanted to call you, or you wanted to call him?
He said he was on some kind of party, and he said, oh, I'm going to call you back. So he called me back for 5 minutes. Didn't went well.
Was this the conversation that you recorded?
No. That was later.
That was later. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess perhaps the first thing we do is actually listen to the recorded conversation that you have with him. One point of clarification. There seems to be some discussion of a lawsuit. I'm a little confused there.
Yeah.
Is there actually a lawsuit?
Yes, it just went very slowly.
Are you the defendant or the plaintiff?
Defendant.
You're the defendant.
Yeah.
Okay, so Walter filed a defamation?
No. I am going to file a defamation.
She's apparently. Hold on.
There's nobody's filed.
Not yet. My lawyer is working on every evidence right now.
So you do have a lawyer?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So there hasn't been a filed case yet, but you intend to file, is it a defamation action?
And coercion.
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 Yeah, coercion.
Right.
Of what? Coercion for what? What did he coerce you to do? Now let's make it easy. Okay. Okay. So coercion, legal. Legal definition of coercion. So this is the apparent, quick Google search. The legal definition of coercion is the use of express or implied threats of violence or reprisal or other intimidating behavior that puts a person in immediate fear of consequences to compel that person to act against his or her will. So, basically, what I read from this is, if you do anything intimidating or threatening of violence or reprisals or anything of that nature that puts a person in the immediate fear of consequences to compel them to do the act that you want. So, for example, if Fresh really wanted her to have the baby, he's like, I'm going, and says to her, and is, has expressed or implied the threat that I am going to dox you, I'm going to ruin you, until you have said abortion. I am going to destroy you until you have said abortion. So that would be, and I would think, coercion. But when she had the abortion, according to what Myron's pulled up and what I read from that, it doesn't seem like that's actually the case. And again, you're going to have to prove that he implied or expressed some threat or other intimidating behavior, like I would say, having your audience. Well, I wouldn't even say having your audience. Again, you would have to prove that Fresh and Myron made their audience go after Daisy and to intimidate her into getting an abortion. I haven't seen any of that actually. I've been watching this fairly close, and I haven't seen any of that action actually of them trying to force her to get to try and coerce her into getting an abortion. There's been stuff like that happening from their audience, but it's them mostly roasting her, calling her a liar and shit like that. But then again, isn't a response to what she did, and it's not really a response to wanting her to get an abortion. So I don't think this coercion thing's going to work out for her. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. But I think she should probably consult a better lawyer if they're trying to sell her some idea that, oh, we're going to get this dude. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
And you're doing this, I'm assuming, in the state of Florida. Is that correct?
That I have to follow up with my lawyer.
Because you said you live in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm staying in New York.
Is there any reason you would file it in New York versus Florida? Because he lives in Florida, right?
I don't know, actually. My lawyer, they're super busy because they're very big in New York City. They haven't told me anything. Just a few days ago, they text me they're going to.
I have no idea. My lawyers are super busy. I have no idea. Look, what if they filed in New York? That'd be a bit of forum shopping, and you probably would have an argument that. And honestly, I mean, if I don't think you'd be able to really sue them in New York, because you'd probably have to sue them in Florida, because you're not really a resident. You live here, but you're not like an actual resident. You don't really you're not a you live in New York, but you're, as far as I know, you're just staying there. You're not really a resident, meaning I don't think you have a visa to be here on a permanent basis. I get maybe I don't know how it works, but I would think you'd actually have to you'd have to sue them in Florida and not New York, because none of this really happened in New York, and the person you're suing lives in Florida. I think it's similar to the case of Rekieta Law versus what the hell, Montegraph, where Montegraph lives in, was it Colorado? Yeah, he lives in Colorado, but he sued Nick Rekieta in Minnesota, where Nick lives. But presumably, no, actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong in this. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Make announcements.
Wait, so hold on. Is this are they taking this on? What's the term for it? No, are you paying them, or is this they're taking it on contingency?
On contingency.
Is that the term, contingency?
Yeah, but we talked about it. I was supposed to be paying.
Yeah, contingency is if they'll charge you after you win, if you win. There's no way she's winning. Because for defamation, you'd have to prove that they lied or intent. What is defamation? Let's look at defamation. All right, so the defamation is the action of damaging the good reputation of someone, slander or libel. So that's defamation. Now, there's a lot more that goes into it, because obviously it goes deep into defamation. Okay. Defamation of character is a false statement of fact that causes harm to your reputation. That's defamation of character, which is obviously what she's trying to sue him for. That's generally what defamation lawsuits are. They're you made a false statement. But here's the thing. The Fresh and Fit crew, Myron in particular, And ironically, actually, she should probably be suing Myron, not Fresh, because Fresh hasn't said anything, and it's actually Myron who who said stuff. So she shouldn't be suing Fresh. She'd have to sue Myron because Fresh hasn't said anything, or at least sue the Fresh and Fit company itself. So, anyways, let's see, what's the thing I'm thinking of? But anyways, but they would have to. She would have to prove, or that the whatever allegations they've made about her that damaged her reputation are false, and they seem to have a reasonable basis on why they believe what they believe, and apparently, and obviously, what she's talking about, the defamation is saying that she's an escort. So she's claiming I'm not an escort. They're lying. They're saying I'm an escort, but I'm not an escort. But what we're seeing here, that might not be 100% true. Hold on. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. I think that actually is going to work out a lot better. But anyways, so what she's going to have to say is, oh, they're lying. I'm not actually an escort. They're lying saying I'm an escort. But, they apparently have a witness, the guy who made the recording, as a means of showing that this is why we believe what I believe. And you have a reasonable reason to believe what you believe. It's not defamation. And if you have someone coming in saying, no, yeah, she's definitely an escort, I hired her to bang me, and turns out that's what it is. And based on, if you watch my previous videos, you'll see I've gone over this before, and you'll see that that the looks may not be the same, but the voice is exactly the same. You can't change voice, you can change looks. She's already admitted to having a shit ton of plastic surgery. So I mean, what can you do? Anyways.
But then I told them, like, because low feed is very expensive in here, I wasn't be able to collecting all this money, and my bank account is in China, so they gave me this solution.
Well, we can talk more about the potential lawsuit later, but why don't we play the video, because you recorded a phone conversation that you had with him. Yeah. We'll play it just so the audience can hear. I guess my question for you is, what prompted you to want to record this conversation?
See, people don't believe me, even I show all the receipts.
Well, but
what receipts?
You had not gone public at this point. Like when you recorded the conversation,
I recorded
this was still a private matter.
Yeah, okay. I did it because I want to prove it.
Want to prove what?
I want to prove that I am pregnant with his child, and he doesn't.
Prove to who?
But she hasn't actually proven that she's pregnant with the child. Like with his child. She hasn't, because she terminated it way early. So for all we know, she terminated some other dude's baby, but was trying to blame it on Fresh. That's all we know. We don't have any actual proof. Just because he has some conversations and he doesn't outright deny that, he's the father, doesn't mean you actually prove that it's his baby. He just admits that, yeah, there's a possibility I nutted in you.
Proof to everybody.
But it wasn't public yet.
Yeah, but I did this in advance, so I can show people whatever I'm showing right now.
See, here's the thing. I mean, one, she's currently admitting committing a felony, which there should be charges pending for her in Florida. But here's the thing is she is no, like, she, actually, let me let Brian get into it, because he actually breaks it down real well about her bullshit.
People can see I have showed all the receipt, and they still don't believe in me. So what if you think I don't have the record? They're going to say you're not pregnant.
But so at what point prior to the recorded phone call?
But the recorded phone call doesn't prove that you're pregnant. The piece of the supposed pregnancy tests and the paper you've provided, that would prove that you're pregnant. But the recording doesn't prove you're pregnant. You're just saying that you're pregnant. Doesn't prove that you're pregnant.
All the leaked phone call conversation. At what point did you make the determination that I'm going to go public with this?
First time I reached him out, he told me, no, he doesn't want the baby. So then 4 days he ignored me. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to give him some time. But 4 days, he hasn't reached me out. Then
he didn't text you?
Right, he didn't text me. He didn't do anything.
So you texted him, hey, I'm pregnant, and he didn't respond?
Yeah, he said, I don't want a kid. I just don't want a kid.
Oh, no, so he did respond?
First time I texted him, yes. He did.
He responded immediately?
Right.
Okay, but then you followed up?
Yeah, then so first time I did the pregnant.
I haven't really seen those texts. Or texting, I'm pregnant. Like, is she talking about the text where the text she leaked? That was the first time she contacted him? Those are the texts she leaked?
Test, it wasn't very clear. It's a cross. But I thought maybe he thinks I'm trying to trick him or something. So I just double sure and went to the hospital. I did a blood test. 4 days later, I text him again. This is the blood test. Then I told my friend, maybe it's time to record it because
now let's bring up something I got here. So I'm going to show you the supposed blood test that she has. All right, so here is the blood test she sent. I'm assuming these are the blood tests that she sent. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Hold on. Cancel. All right, whatever. All right, so this is the apparent supposed blood test. All right, so this blood test that, let's see if we can see results. Positive. I think that's what that means. She's positively pregnant. Specimen collected, lab results, all that. But here's the thing. So it says, positive pregnancy, and there's a counter for elective termination of blank. Elective termination of what? Well, when it comes to pregnancy, the elective of termination would be, to me, an abortion. So apparently she did this. Okay. She got this, was positive for being pregnant, and she apparently was doing this during the time of in the afternoon, and it was for a pregnancy test or an abortion. She wanted to get an abortion. They took the test, had to prove that she was actually pregnant. It was positive. So this was for an encounter for elective termination of a fetus. So baby. So I mean now pay close attention because this will be coming up. The lab results, the specimen collected and labs results, or last result resulted, whatever. But the results and everything was the 4th of April. That's what it seemed to me. All right, that's 4th or the 5th of April. Okay, was when this was supposedly happen. That's what it seemed to me. So just keep an eye on that. All right. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Sorry. Fucked up. All right, hold on.
He broke up. Do you think it's wrong to break up with somebody for like?
It's all right to break up.
You can break up with anybody for any reason, right?
Right. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Sure.
But just because of that, I kind of sense that he's not.
Okay, hold on.
Brian Atlas, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.
Fucking hell. All right, hold on. I gotta redo this shit. Okay. All right, there we go. Hold on. All right, there we go. Back to it.
It's his child, and he
But
doesn't
proof to who?
prove to everybody.
But it wasn't public yet.
Yeah, but I did this in advance, so I can show people whatever I'm showing right now. As
Again,
people can see, I have showed all the receipt, and they
doesn't
still
prove
don't
that she
believe
was
in me.
pregnant.
So what if you think I don't have the record? They're gonna say you're not pregnant.
But so at what point prior to the recorded phone call, the leaked phone call conversation, at what point did you make the determination that I'm going to go public with this?
First time I reached him out, he told me,
now I'm going to do this at 2.5 C or double speed because we've already gone through this, so there's no point.
he doesn't want the baby. So then 4 days he ignored me.
Mhm.
So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him some time.
Drop
4
it
days
down
he
to
hadn't reached me out.
1.5.
He
Then
didn't text you?
Right, he didn't text me. He didn't do
So
anything.
you texted him, hey, I'm pregnant, and he didn't respond.
Yeah, he said I don't want a kid. I just don't want a kid.
Oh, no, so he did respond.
First time I texted him, yes, he
He
did.
responded immediately.
Right.
Now, FYI, if you're watching Andrew here and you see him do this, he's actually what he does is he streams while he's doing one of these things. So he's streaming. So he's currently talking to his own chat, and that's why you see his hand like this. He's doing this, so he's not disturbing or making making them think that he's trying to talk and he's muted. He's talking to his own chat doing this, or he'll just dip out with. That's why you see the screen him disappear. So that's just an FYI to people.
Okay, but then you followed up.
Yeah, then so first time I did the pregnancy test, it wasn't very clear. It's a cross, but I thought maybe he thinks I'm trying to trick him or something. So I just double sure. Went to the hospital. I did a blood test. 4 days later, I text him again. This is the blood test. Then I told my friend maybe it's time to record it because.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. But again, I showed. It looks like she got that pregnancy test and everything, and she did that April 5th. Okay. April 5th. It's what it looks like to me. I'm going to go and look through this while she's talking. It looks like to me April 5th was when she got her abortion.
Because in my head, I was very upset and emotional.
Why?
Because I know this guy doesn't want to take responsibility.
Well, how do you know that?
Because he broke up with me for
he broke up with you, but it's not clear.
He broke up with me for no reason. You're not in my position. That's why you can't feel me, because I moved from China for him.
He broke up. Do you think it's wrong to break up with somebody for
it's all right to break up.
You can break up with anybody for any reason, right?
Right. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Sure.
But just because of that, I kind of sense that he's not like a responsible man.
Because he broke up with you.
Right. In that way, because I'm here alone in this country. I had all my package delivered to his apartment.
Right.
You moved here for him?
Yes, I moved from China. I had all my package. I couldn't even wait because he was telling me you should go.
But okay, you say that it didn't seem like he was going to take responsibility. What kind of responsibility were you hoping let's say you continued on with the pregnancy, what responsibility were you hoping he would take?
At least to take the responsibility as to be a father, be there for the kid.
Okay, so you wanted him to be involved with the parenting.
Right.
Okay. And it seems at that point he would have been unwilling to do that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Why don't we play the video and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, Nick.
I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over.
No.
Now, sorry. Before we get into it, so I just looked. She got the results and everything, at least for the HIV test. It's negative and stuff. So I'm assuming she also got the test good on April 5th as well, her pregnancy test. So it looks like to me she got the abortion on April 5th. That's what it looks like to me.
I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing.
Now listen to that. In her religion, she doesn't kill. Okay, just remember that.
Okay.
I want to keep the baby.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids. No.
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Now listen to that. Okay, what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna do to me? Seems like some interesting language there. What are you gonna do? And what are you gonna do to me? You're claiming that he's gonna threaten you. Like what? What was that? And this Fresh and Fit had pointed this out fairly well. It seems to be she's trying to entrap him into saying some stuff that could have gotten him in some serious trouble. And Fresh was smart enough to understand that, hear that, and be like, "That's a weird thing to ask. I'm not gonna do anything to you. Why are you asking me like you have something in fear for me?" Seems like she's trying to set him up with some sort of bullshit.
Nothing.
I see Fresh is smart. She's like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to me? Nothing." Now again, she's saying she has made the claim that she's suing him for coercion. But when asked, "What are you gonna do?" Nothing. Nothing.
Why did I do anything to you?
Nothing.
Why did I do anything to you?
No, I know.
Now he's asking very smart. Why would I do anything to you? So it just took the steam out of her attempt to entrap her. Fresh. Like, what are you gonna do to me? Nothing. Why would I do anything to you?
So like, how are you gonna deal with this? By saying I don't want a baby? That's all?
I mean, let's go to the doctor, I guess.
To the doctor. So you want abortion?
I mean, yeah. Why do you want a kid now?
And why do you make me pregnant now?
That's I'm like, there's no way that's true. But then it's, oh wow, like
So just think about it. It's meant to be.
What?
God wants. God
It's meant to be. God wants you to have a baby with my crazy ass.
wants you to have the baby.
Definitely not.
It
Definitely
is.
not.
God wants you to have a baby. 7 years never happened, and then you're you're fucking me for a month, and I'm pregnant. What does that mean?
Well,
Now I just think about if you force me to kill the baby, then you're a sin.
well, we already said about the sex, but it's too late now, you know? But honestly,
At the very end there, you say force you to get an abortion. Is your position that he forced you, because you ended up getting the abortion, correct?
Yeah.
Is your position that he forced you to get the abortion?
Yes. I tell you why. Because
So her claim is he forced her to get an abortion. Now, we're gonna bring something up in a second, but watch why she claims what she could. Now, already established and shown that it looks like she had an abortion April 5th. All right, April 5th. Now, the reason I'm specifying that date, there's a very important reason. So April 5th is when is we're gonna go with this because I have no other information. So she claims April 5th.
we both planned the baby, and I'm not both on birth control.
Wait,
So I wanted to have.
Hold on. They both planned the baby. Doesn't seem like it was really planned because he broke up with before you were ever pregnant. And by according to Myron, she had taken a pregnancy test prior to them breaking up in front of him and his mom. Fresh and his mom. Make that clear. She took a pregnancy test. It was negative. And then a week after that, she comes back and says she's pregnant. Now, apparently she was pregnant. Okay. She was pregnant because she, I just showed that document that says, it was, she had an abortion and everything. So what it appears to be.
Donated $200. I hope she realizes that recording a conversation without both parties' consent is a
Now, my fucking problem with whatever is these stupid TTSs because they always end up interrupting right in a good point. And they do something smart fairly soon where they cut it off until the end of the segment. So we'll get annoyed by this for a little bit and eventually they'll cut it down.
felony in Florida, and once Trump is back, she'll be deported faster than the Japanese running from Godzilla.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the 200.
You like how she doesn't address the fact that she did commit a felony? She did. Florida's a two-party consent state, so if you're going to record someone, you have to have the permission of the other person. You have to have their consent. And she didn't do that. So she probably has a warrant out fairly soon for her arrest.
Wait, so hold on. Go ahead with what you were saying.
We actually both plan to have the baby, and I want to have this certain understanding when the father is there.
Wait, just to be clear, he planned to have the baby.
Yeah.
Wait,
Because-
you only dated for a month?
No, we dated 4 months.
Wait, so
For 4 months and you wanted to have his baby?
He told you he wants to have a kid.
He said if it happens, it happens.
Okay.
He asked
That doesn't sound like a plan. What is it? He said if it happens, it happens. But that's not a plan, sweetheart. Okay? That doesn't mean you're planning for it. You're just saying that. Now, again, that's what the fuck you're claiming. Because Fresh claims something entirely different. Well, we're not going to go through it, but Fresh claims something entirely different. All right? He says you guys agreed not to have kids. So now you're saying it happens when it happens. If it happens, it happens. That doesn't sound like a plan. The plan is I'm going to fuck you until you get pregnant. That's the plan. Not if it happens, it happens. That's not a plan.
me, what if you get pregnant?
Mhm.
I said, I'm going to keep the baby because I want to have a baby with you. And
Mhm.
I'm 28. I'm ready to have a kid.
Now, again, let's have this lunacy going on. She wants to have a baby with him, but she's only known him for 4 fucking months. Okay, up to the point they break up and everything. So after 4 months, she's like, dude, I really want your Blasian baby. I really want it. Does this make any lick of sense to you?
Why did you want to have his? I just think like in 4
I was
months.
in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in love.
I have just
4
some more
months?
questions
You
though.
were
But,
in love in 4 months?
yeah, it just seems very so. Okay, he said he wanted to have a kid with you. I mean, we know like you had some tweets that you also released, or excuse me, not tweets, text messages that you released, which indicated that you guys were perhaps not being safe. I won't get into more detail, but you guys were not being safe on that front. You were not on birth control, is my understanding. Were you taking Plan B at all, or no Plan B?
No, he nutted
Okay.
in me every day.
Okay.
As you guys know, he does that to many girls, not just me.
Well, I don't know the
Okay,
details of
so-
that, but
Was he doing that with other girls when you guys were together?
The one next to me. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
so okay, so I'm a little confused
I'm
though.
sorry, no more.
but-
I'm just kind of
Everybody knows.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just a bit confused here. You said it's against your religion.
You're a bit confused, Brian, because it sounds like a load of shit. That's why you're confused. Sorry.
Yeah.
To get an abortion, and you're
Yeah.
Buddhist.
I'm Buddhist.
Is
I
it-
don't believe in kill anything, like even the ants.
Yeah, but then she does kill the baby. Like it defeats her entire argument here. The fact that she's like, I'm a Buddhist. I don't believe in killing things, but then you end up killing the baby. So what? Like, make that make sense.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, but
Wait, Andrew.
the reason you don't believe that is because why? The reason you don't believe you should kill anything in Buddhism is
Because
for what purpose?
it's because in Buddhism religions, we don't believe in do anything harm to people or to animals.
Right.
So if
because
we do that, we
the
go to hell.
Yeah,
we
so
don't
this
have
would be
next
in your
life.
estimation a person, correct?
What does that mean?
That means that the baby that you were carrying, it was a person from your worldview.
It was a person.
Hey, pay to win. Thanks for the gift of 20 memberships. Guys, I'm going to actually put a brief temporary pause on the TTS just so we can get through this without interruptions. Andrew, I'm down to have you come in on this.
Yeah, no problem.
Are you cool
I
if I
just want to
just
get clarification on that point.
Okay, cool. I just want to try to get through my questions, and I'll totally open it up to you, Andrew. So you are Buddhist.
Again, this should have been just a 2v2 situation. It shouldn't have been a panel one because again, this goes on for a while. It goes on for like 2.5 more hours. And these poor ladies are here listening to this crap.
So
Yes.
okay, and under the Buddhist, is the Buddhist position like abortion is it's not allowed
It's
within
not.
that
It's,
faith?
I want to correct that. When I say that, I was very emotional, and as you guys know, English, it's not my.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I meant in Buddhism, we don't believe in kill anybody or doing anything harm to people because we want to be kind to everybody.
Right.
And that's how I feel when I'm surrounding with people. I'm always trying to
Okay.
be honest. But
That sounds like a lot of crock. Not the Buddhist part, but the fact that she's like, oh, that's how I am. No, it doesn't seem like it because here's the thing. Even if you take out killing the baby, okay, you take that out. All right. But then you bring in the fact that you illegally recorded a phone call with him and then released it. All right. Seems like you were trying to do some harm there. Okay. Seems like you were doing some harm there.
I just can't keep the baby because they are harassing me after they hired many people.
All right. So here's something that's very important. She's claiming she can't keep the baby because they are harassing her. Okay. Let's listen here.
And they made many allegations on me. I don't want my kid's father to have to behave like that.
All right. So her whole thing is she's made that they made allegations against her, they harassed her, they did all these things against her, and that's what made her not want to keep the baby. So we've already established April 5th was when they was more than likely when she killed the kid. All right. April 5th was that time. All right. We got the photos, we got the pictures, everything. So April 5th was what it appears to be. She doesn't deny it because when I asked her the question later on, I asked her, and we may get to it, but I messaged her. I was the ghost on because I typed in the for some reason instead of with. But when I did my question, I asked, when did you have your abortion? Was it April 5th? I asked her twice. The second time, she's like, I've already addressed this. Go look at my my video. But I go on her channel, which is Daisy Fit Chen, and the last video she has was about was a makeup tutorial, which is an hour. So I have no idea. Is that what she's talking about, or she's talking about this tree of logic exposing lies of she's a sex worker? Is she talking about then? Okay. Because she has no timestamp. So how am I like she's all she says is I addressed it in a video. Go check it out. Doesn't give me any timestamps or anything like that. So how can I verify anything? I'm not going to watch an hour-long video of her doing makeup or her talking about Tree of Logic, who used to be a dominatrix, which she actually has already admitted to, and all that stuff. So it's not really relevant or and any of that crap. I'm not going to listen to an hour-long makeup tutorial to see if you address the whole baby daddy thing. And also, the live chat's not being allowed to replay. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing or a her thing. So, I mean, if it would have been better if she just addressed it then when I asked. So I'm going off of April 5th is when you had when you killed the baby, Daisy. I hope you're watching this. I know you're going to be typing, oh, you're such a bald, ugly man. I don't care what you're doing. You're just jealous. You're a plastic Mulan. Come on. But I would love for you to come and just message me, even comment below this video and say April 5th wasn't when I had the baby. It was this date. But then you're gonna have to provide me some proof that it wasn't that date. Because what the proof I got, which is what Myron showed on his show when he addressed these allegations, was it looked like April 5th was when you killed your baby. Now, why do I bring that up and why do I hammer that? Well, let me show this real quick. All right. The reason I am hammering it and all that is because she claims that they harassed her. She killed the baby because they harassed her. It was their fault. They harassed her. And they did all these things, and she found out he was a terrible person, all that stuff. And that's why she aborted the baby. But check this out. So this is the first time they addressed any of this. All right. This was the first time they addressed it. And what date is that? Oh, it's April fucking 5th. April 5th, 2024. That's when they addressed any of this. And that's when it all started. That's when all of us actually really knew about it. They hinted at it like the episode prior or the show before. They hinted at it, made jokes about it. They didn't really address it. No one really knew what they were saying as far as I fucking know. I don't remember when she dropped her claims. I don't remember when that happened. But when they addressed it was April 5th. That's when they addressed it. The first time they addressed it. And then hold on. I'll just do this real quick because I think I got a better one. Because they did like they addressed it without actually addressing it. All right. They didn't really go into it that much. But that's when it really became known to their fans, in my opinion, was that date. Now, let's see. Okay. So then it was the next show. Hold on. I got to go through all this. And so it was the next show. That Fresh and Fit did after that, which was April 5th. So let's see. Okay. Well, that's not going to actually work. Okay. So, unfortunately, like they took it off of YouTube, so I can't really. Oh no, here it is. Cool. So April 8th is when Myron actually went in on it, and he did a solo stream. He debunked all of Abba and Preach's crap about it. So that's when that happened. So April 5th, April 8th is when they really got into it. That's when they really got into it. Okay, but she's saying that she got the abortion because they were harassing her prior to that. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know. And again, if they're harassing you, it's probably in direct response and less about your abortion and more about the fact that you illegally recorded a video and then released it. So that's probably has something to do with it. Like, so it's less about, them wanting you to have an abortion, more about the fact that you illegally tried to trap your boy or illegally recorded your boy. Probably what happened.
And I don't want to be a single mother. I just have to be realistic. I have to be responsible for my life and my kid. I don't want my baby father.
How about responsible for your actions and not killing the kid just because you made a shitty life decision? How about that?
Father is this type of guy, They were making jokes.
Wait, but even
again, 3 days after, okay, they made these jokes 3 days after, or the day of, or 3 days after you actually had said abortion. That's when it all became public to to really their crew, really. Now there may have been some of their people that knew about it, but that's when they really announced it on their platform. And again, you fired the first shot here, so fuck off. All right, quit complaining that they harassed you afterwards because you fucking fired the first shot. So then they're like, all right, you want to do this? Boom, let's go to war.
I think even in that conversation, it sounded like you did want him to be. I mean, you were having sex with him, sleeping with him.
I did.
You did want him to be the father.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Before, even when I had the conversation with him, I was sure I want to keep the baby. 100%.
Okay.
Did you want to marry him?
I don't care about marriage. I don't believe in marriage.
Wait.
So,
okay, well, but you did say in that phone conversation that you don't want to kill the baby. It's against your religion. It's against Buddhism. You said you wanted to keep the baby.
Yes.
But you did ultimately get the abortion?
I did because after everything happened, they were internet harassing me. What I'm pregnant.
So she fucking claims. She claims that, again, she had the abortion April 5th. Prove me wrong, Daisy. April 5th was when you had the abortion. They didn't address it on their platform until April 5th, and they didn't go into really much detail and exposing your escorting pass and everything until April 8th. So April 5th, April 8th, it's when really any of her possible harassment really could have started. And you already had said abortion.
He didn't show up, doesn't respond to everything. Instead, the whole group of people would insult me on internet. And they were saying, they were celebrating me being a single mother, playing a song like...
Again, that happened way after the fucking abortion. And I remember that. And it was hilarious. That single mom song, that was fucking funny. That was pure comedy gold.
You let him hit in the role, now you're a single mother.
Right, the song. Well, I mean, but do you think that...
And then also I found out other things about him, that he was doing this to many other girls. And he also mentioned Hail Mary. He brought a girl that...
Well, hold on. Let's just stay focused on your specific relationship with him. So how far along, when you told him, were you 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks pregnant?
When I told him, it was like probably less than 4 weeks.
Less than 4 weeks. Okay. And then and is that, how long from when you told him to when you recorded that phone call?
4 days.
4 days. And then from the point that you recorded the phone call, how soon after did you release the phone call to the internet?
Like a few days later.
A few days later.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
wait, I don't really remember when I recorded, but I know when I released it a few days later, not immediately.
Okay. And I mean, you're saying though he was hesitant to be involved. I mean, certainly, look, I mean, even if it was the case that I mean, you can't force him to be involved in terms of parentage, but I mean,
I can't force
there would have been some sort of child support payment, for example.
But I don't want a child support. I want my baby father to be there.
Okay. Well, but I mean, don't you think? I mean, this is from the time you told him to the point that you released all of this on the internet. It sounds like maybe only about 7 days went by.
Yeah.
I mean, for most men, I would assume can be pretty shocking, especially someone who you just broke up with. It takes time to process that sort of thing. I mean, don't you feel like you kind of took the first shot in all of this?
No.
Well, you leaked the private conversation.
Yeah, I leaked. Yeah.
But I mean, but don't you think that was an escalation in this?
Like, that is the first shot. Like, no one knew about this until you leaked it. Like, I mean, is that not accurate? Like, it wasn't Okay. So here we go. I got the dates. All right, I looked it up real quick. I'm a genius. I'm a motherfucking genius. Kanye. No, I'm not. Come on, I'm fucking around. I'm just some loser. So right here. All right. So this little quick who is CJ Daisy from Fresh Fit. CJ Daisy, aka Daisy Fit _ Chen on Instagram, who was Miss Asia 2023, leaked a series of DMs between her and Walter Weeks on April 3rd, 2024. So she had this conversation. It was all private. Then April 3rd was when she actually leaked everything. And apparently April 5th was when she had the abortion. So you're telling me all the and then she mentioned all the stuff that happened after April 5th. You know, the whole, only people who really followed her on her Instagram would know. But Fresh and Fit didn't really address it to everyone until April 5th. Again, April 5th. I keep bringing this up because it's kind of important. All these timelines. So April 3rd is when she leaked. And then April 5th was when she apparently had the abortion by the paperwork she provided. Comment. Go ahead. Tell me I'm wrong. You didn't give me an answer. You said you addressed it in a previous video on your show. But I'm not going to watch an hour-long YouTube makeup tutorial to try and find it. And I'm not going to listen to you talk about an ugly dominatrix chick that ended up going against you when it found out that you were bullshitting. So you're going to have to give me something here to go off of if you want me to believe that it wasn't April 5th. Because that's what I'm going with. It was April 5th was when you had the abortion. So... And then everything you're really complaining about, all that really happened after April 5th, and probably more so April 8th. So all that happened after the abortion. So you can't be saying that you did it because of a harassment. you got, because there wasn't really much harassment because no one really knew. They gave a fuck.
You can say that, he wasn't being responsive to you, but this was an escalation on your part by making this public. And then, of course, from perhaps his perspective, he would be less inclined to want to communicate with you further, because when he did communicate with you, he called you on the phone, you recorded it, which was a private conversation.
I'll tell you, even if I didn't leak the message, he wouldn't take the responsibility.
Well, how do you know that? You gave him 1 week, and then you went nuclear.
Based on how we find out who he is.
You gave him 4 days, and then you had abortion 2 days later. You gave him 4 days after you had your first initial conversation.
Later, he basically tricks women.
No, okay. You can't excuse what you found out later to objection, Your Honor. You can't use what you learned later as justification for what you did prior. Okay, you can't be like, well, we found out he tricks women, blah blah. Actually, we already fucking knew that because he fucking admits it. They say it all the time. Like Byron's like, I'm more straight and forward. I tell women the truth. Fresh, he sells a dream. And you've heard that multiple times. So it's not something, this isn't new. This isn't new evidence that we found out. Like, oh shit, Fresh does this? I'm so shocked. No, this isn't new. Okay. Nothing new about what Fresh does. We all know about it. He talks about it all the time. I think it's fucking dumb, but I don't give a shit. Fresh doesn't care if what I think. So, and why should he, honestly? But, anyways. But we all knew. So like this wasn't like, but you're not saying that I knew he would sell dreams and stuff. You saying after all this, after you leaked it, that's when you found out. So you can't use that as justification for your leak. Sorry, not how it works, you dumb broad.
Buys fake stuff to trick women, and also made other women pregnant. Also on the phone, record. I asked him, have you ever made anyone pregnant before? He said yes. Sure. He made his ex-wife get an abortion. So for me,
what proof do you have of that? Like you said, you recorded it. I don't remember seeing that message. I don't remember seeing that recording. I don't remember seeing that message.
Me, in my head, I was like, okay, this man doesn't want to take responsibilities. And also we didn't use protection. He just kind of like nutting me every day. Mm-hmm. And also I wanted to have the kid, So for me, if you don't want a kid, just tell me simply.
You apparently didn't, because 2 days after you went nuclear, you had the abortion.
You tell me, baby, I don't want a kid. Get a plan B.
But don't you think,
that's all. But
don't you think in furtherance of either a reconciliation of your relationship, or if that was just never going to be possible, you guys reconciling romantically, having him involved as a parent, don't you think extending him just the most basic courtesy of keeping this whole thing private could have been in furtherance of, him being involved potentially?
I really don't know. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you why I decided. When the moment I decided to leak the message, it's because when he texts me, I want to get other 4 girls tested.
Okay.
So can you imagine when your boyfriend telling you that while you're pregnant, he does that
pregnancy test or something?
Pregnancy test. He admitted that he was seeing other 4 girls at the same time, having sex without.
Again, you fucking knew about this, and FYI, okay, another thing. Oh, they're going to talk about, but again, you this wasn't like this isn't something new. Okay, they talk about this all the time on the goddamn show. I mean, Fresh even says like maybe one day I'll settle down, but I'm not interested in doing that right now. So you fucking knew. Stop this bullshit.
Protection and not in them.
So
for me, I didn't know that. For me, I know.
But earlier on in the conversation, you said you don't object to a man having sex with other women.
I don't. But he was telling me there's no other girl, and they're not
so
you.
He's selling
and
you the dream, which he does all the fucking time.
Always avoid me, avoid this conversation. He just said I'm not seeing other girl. Plus, when I was with him 2 weeks, mostly he was with me 24 hours, except the 3 days when he tried to break up with me. He just he disappeared for 3 days.
So before trying to break up with you?
Yeah, he disappeared for 3 days.
Why did you want him to be your baby's father?
I was in love.
But I know, I just want to know, what did you think that was so great about that to make you want him? Because that's a big title to have. Whoever you choose to be your child's father is a big choice.
I was in love.
That's it. I was in love. I was in love with a guy I only knew for 4 days. I was so in love with him that I wanted him to be the baby's father. But the second he showed me any slight resistance to that fact, the second any slight resistance, I decided to leak the messages and go nuclear, destroy it, try and attempt to destroy his reputation. And then 2 days after that, get the fucking abortion. So that's her whole thing. Like, does this sound credible? Does this sound credible at all to anyone? Like, seriously, I'm asking a legitimate question. Does this at all sound any do you hear any credibility in this? Like, oh, I just whatever.
Was that your first time in love?
Sorry?
Was that your first time in love? Or
first time? First time in love ever.
Really?
First time I wanted to have kids with.
Really? I heard you. I heard you people love you long time. I mean, I guess that's why. You know, they do love you a long time and very quick. Short time and long time. I love you.
Somebody.
All right. So, and then at the end of that video, you were saying something about him forcing you to get an abortion, and I'm just a little confused there. How did he force you to get an abortion?
It was like kind of like misunderstood with my English. English, that means like if you ask me for a abortion. No, I didn't mean.
Okay, look. Does her English suck? Yes, it actually does. Her English really sucks. She don't understand. But you're trying to tell me you confused force, okay, the word force, with asking. I mean, really? Really? Okay, lady. Whatever you think.
I mean, force me.
Okay.
Because I know I'm adult. I can make my own decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys together, you and Noelle, you guys did make a video titled.
Yeah, we did.
Nick, are you able to pull that up? Yeah. No. You're pulling up the Reddit video? Okay. No. Stop. Nick, the YouTube video, please. What was the title of that video?
We are the victims.
So just before we pull that up, do you guys consider yourselves to be victims of Walter?
Yes.
So he victimized you?
Yes.
I don't feel quite victim, but I do feel like I was played.
Well, you said we. So the title of the video is.
Now this chick here, Noelle. No, she apparently knew, like, watched a little bit of his show and stuff, understood, you know, what type of, or claims she didn't have any idea what type of person he was. I mean, yeah, of course he got played. Like, what the fuck? That's all they do is play you.
We are the victims. So, I mean, you were both in the video, so I would assume that means that.
We both and other girls.
Other women too.
Other women.
Victims of what precisely?
A
crime?
I wouldn't say a crime, but emotionally damaged.
Yeah, she can't say a crime because that would be slander. I think if you're accusing someone of a crime that you don't really have any evidences, or I could be wrong. It could be incorrect about that.
Emotionally damaged.
Emotional damage. I wish I had that sound effect. Perfect. God damn it. Oh,
abuse.
For me, yes.
Was he just like dating all of you guys? Like
he was dating like different women, but he kind of made me like his main girl.
Again, you fucking knew about it, and again, like they, I think they just addressed it not too long ago. She admits she's okay with that. She understands that's the way it goes. Like, what the hell?
Well,
when you say he was emotional abuse, what specifically?
When he found out I'm pregnant, instead of standing up and wipe it up, he told his partner, making allegations about me, pull up some fake videos about me, saying I'm.
Oh, fake videos? You're claiming they're fake videos? I'm claiming those text messages are fake. Prove them wrong. What the hell? His shit seems far more credible than your shit.
Well, calling me a hoe. Call his baby mother a hoe.
But hold on,
so obviously, all this internet attack that caused me emotional damage.
Which happened after your abortion, by the way.
Do that before or after you leaked the?
After.
It was after.
After.
Well,
sorry. That's actually a very important distinguish. Good job on the Asian girl here. She's like, did you do this before you leaked or after? So what you could really say is, again, you fired the first shot and you don't like the fact that they won because they went back. Like, they hit back and they hit it harder. Like, you don't like that. But then you leaked shit and you got mad. And also, ironically, which they address later on, you got mad when other people leaked shit about you. So, you know.
So, do you think it's emotionally abusive to leak private phone calls?
Yes.
You mean me?
For example, let's say Walter had recorded a private conversation that you and him had that was of a private and delicate nature.
Yeah.
And he leaked that. Would you feel that would be abusive?
I wouldn't like that. But,
you wouldn't like
but
it.
I also wouldn't treat anybody like that.
But you did. Like, do you see the contradiction here? First off, she avoided the question entirely. But then she's like, I wouldn't treat anyone like that. But you did.
So
okay. Look, we can. Look, it may certainly be the case that Walter wasn't perfect in this.
Wasn't pregnant? Perfect. That's not a good word. Like, he's worse than that.
You're worse than he is.
I mean, did you know that? I mean, for example, his podcast, he does sort of.
I didn't know.
But he is a bit up. Well, one, you said that you would not object to a man sleeping with other women, even if you're in a relationship.
Yeah,
with
that's
them.
because I'm realistic, and also, we human build this laws and this restrictions for for our generation, for people, for human beings. But before, when we were back in thousands of years ago, we didn't have these rules. Guys like
What's
could
that have
sleeping
to
with
do
different
with
women just to produce babies. Okay, so
Right.
human nature, we don't just sleep with one person. That's
What does it have to do with anything?
I'm just being realistic. If my husband or my boyfriend respect me and always be honest with me, I'm fine. Just don't bring me disease. That's what I told him. But instead, he could tell me the truth, but he lied to me. I don't sleep with other women. I'm solid. I already made up my mind. And then when I told
But then, see, again, they admit that Fresh admits he sells women the dream. So maybe you should have done a little bit of your research to find out what type of guy you're sleeping with, you fucking idiot. It's one thing if this guy's there's no, like, he's not, public figure or anything, so you can't really, back up anything he says or stuff. But when the dude's on a dating podcast that you've been on and you've heard his partner views, I do a little more fucking research, or that you've learned eventually that, hey, this guy is a public figure. He has his views. Let me go see what he's actually about. And then you can believe him when he says, oh, no, I trust me, baby. I'm not selling you the dream. But then have in the back of your mind, all right, maybe he's telling the truth, but maybe this guy's fucking lying. Like, what? Like, all she's telling me is I'm a fucking idiot. And I don't know what I'm just a fucking idiot. That's really what she's saying here.
I'm pregnant. He told me I need to get 4 other girls tested. So my mind was bloated. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Wait, so if you're like, I'm trying to figure out what the goal was and all of it. You just wanted him to be your baby's father?
I would,
because you said you didn't care about marriage. So it's like, if everything else, like him sleeping around with other girls or whatever, that doesn't matter to you. Like, then I don't, like, how are you guys saying like you got played?
I was hoping that he could just treat me nicely instead of just telling me go ahead and get a kill. Like, if he could just like say.
And again, what she leaked and what was, like from the text message and recording, he was actually treated you very nicely. He didn't say anything. Wasn't rude. He didn't call you a stupid cunt. He didn't say you're a stupid hoe. Nothing. He just said, okay, go get an abortion. That's really the basis of what he said. He wasn't rude. Wasn't foul mouthed. He didn't say really anything derogatory to you. He was very kindly just said, I'd like you to get an abortion. So, and then for that, she went nuclear. and unfortunately, she only had one shot to get, or one warhead, and they had apparently thousands.
Hey, baby, I'm gonna get you through this. I'll go to the hospital with you. Any of that, but he didn't.
But I mean, they do sort of hold themselves out to be these kind of playboy characters. I mean, they have a segment on Womanizer Wednesdays. Walter claims to have had a body count of over 1,000. He says he slept with over 1,000 women. I mean, you must have known to some degree that he was probably involved with other women.
Well, I know he's a playboy. Like he's
okay. You knew that.
Okay, so she just admitted, I know that he's a playboy. So if you're admitting you know he's a playboy, then why are you upset when you learned, oh, he may have gotten 4 other chicks pregnant? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know that.
Like, you see how she's contradicting herself left and fucking right? Like, come on.
He has bad character. Playing boy and bad character is different. Okay, I didn't know he's evil like that, and I don't pay attention about.
Strong word.
I don't pay attention about.
Do you think he's evil?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the way.
Like, what specifically did he do that was evil?
Made me pregnant, and
that would make him evil.
I mean, not for you, but for women. We actually carrying a baby. We actually had to get an abortion.
So making you pregnant's evil? Well, then, okay, wait, hold on. So if he made you pregnant but still wanted to be with you, would he still be evil? No, because that doesn't make any sense, you dumb fucking hoe. Maybe you should have worked more on your brain and less on getting plasticed up.
Consented to the sex, correct?
Yes, I did,
Okay.
but I didn't consent. Have sex, nutting me. I didn't.
Really? You couldn't have stopped it at all? You couldn't have been like, yo, bro, put on a condom. Couldn't have done that at all? Look, if you're going to fuck a dude and he's not wearing a condom, then it's kind of on your fucking fault. Like, isn't it? Isn't it your fucking fault? Or you could have taken a plan B right afterwards. Like, what? Like, she's skirting all the accountability here.
Okay. And men controls that. Men controls their behavior.
Women controls who goes inside them. Like, what the, like, you give a guy an opportunity to nut in a chick, he's gonna nut in the chick, all right? It like, call us stupid if you want, but come on, it feels great. They love it. Or we love it. Sorry. But you control whether that guy puts a condom on, and if he doesn't want to put the condom on, don't fuck him. Like, what is this? Look at all this accountability dodging. It's like fucking Neo.
Why having sex?
How
And
come
we
you're not
cannot
on birth control?
we cannot control if a man's gonna come inside us
Yes, you can. You can say, "Hey, we're not having sex unless you put a condom on."
of us, or no, we cannot control that.
Well, but I mean, you had sex with him multiple times, I'm assuming.
Yes, because
And he was coming inside of you every single time.
because I wanted to have the kids. I also
Right.
wanted to have the kids.
Right. But so
That you
mean, it's
later
not
on
like you're-
killed 2 days after you went nuclear and leaked everything.
we're saying, please don't do this. Please don't come inside of me.
Oh, I didn't say
You were
that.
fine with it.
Yeah, I was fine. And my future
Okay.
told me you're gonna get pregnant on March, which it happened.
Well, I think that's typically how children happen. You know, the guys.
I don't know. Like my future literally told me last year you're gonna be pregnant. I was
Wait, your
hoping.
fortune teller?
Yeah, my fortune teller.
Was it like a palm reading or what are we?
I don't know. Someone from China.
Like a
I believe in that.
fortune cookie?
I-
You-
Come on. It was Dragon Knuckle Bones. Some old Asian witch doctor had some witch lady had like some Dragon Knuckle Bones. She shook them around and threw them down. It's like, you are gonna get pregnant soon.
You will be
No,
pregnant.
no,
Do we
no.
have any fortune cookies in the studio? Let's see what she's gonna get today.
Wait,
Okay.
so he knew you wanted to get pregnant.
Let me tell you this. What his what the future holds for her today is she's gonna get roasted and she's gonna get owned by Andrew Wilson and then she's gonna get roasted by the chat.
He knew it, and I was
Okay, well, it
taking
seems
all
like they
this.
were planning.
I was
to have a
taking the
child.
supplements.
That's
you know,
what
you know.
You're
that's
taking-
what
was it
she
prenatal?
claims.
Yeah, I
You're
was.
taking prenatal supplements.
Again, that's what she is claiming. She's claiming this was all planned and everything. And then Fresh is claiming they agreed not to have kids. Who are you fucking believing at this point? I mean, her story doesn't really make any sense at all. Like, I knew he was a playboy. I'm mad that he was a playboy. The fuck?
Take that, and I quit drinking. You know, stuff like that. I really sincere like wanted to have the baby.
Did he want?
But then she aborted it 2 days after she went nuclear on Fresh.
To have the kid?
I mean, he didn't say like, "Oh, I really want the kid," but by his behavior and action,
If he didn't want to have a kid, he wouldn't have.
I asked him
I
many
don't
times.
think.
No, because guys are dumb. And if we get a chance to go raw on someone, we're going to go raw. We don't really think about the consequences afterwards. All right. And again, it's no excuse for Fresh or anything, but let's be honest. It's, if you're going to go, if you start fucking a chick without a condom on, you're not really thinking about the consequences.
Well, I think genuinely,
I think
he didn't want to have a kid.
I think
Yeah,
he
But
didn't want
he
a
also
kid. But
enjoyed.
Nutting in
Blasting
you.
inside.
that's what I'm
but why
saying.
didn't tell me? I asked him 100 times at least.
That's just how
Why do
guys
you
are.
do
Guys
that?
are just gonna, if a guy gets to hit it raw, they're gonna.
Again, you're going to have to, like, if you're listening to this, you're going to have to try and, believe her, but she's contradicted herself a bunch of times already.
Why would he pull out?
I mean,
Well,
I
then
would-
he should know that.
if they're not on birth
Then he should
control.
know that their partner is going to get pregnant, or he didn't care if she just go ahead get an abortion. That doesn't affect him.
Or maybe, I don't know, you shouldn't let a guy who's going to nut in you. Mhm.
Have you
That's
ever,
it's a damage for women.
prior to Walter, have you ever had?
No, never,
Never. Okay.
never.
It's just,
I
I
don't
think
believe
it's just
that.
important for women to choose who they're having sex with without a condom, because we should already know, like, we're gonna get pregnant and everything. But if he's already
More accurately, you have the chance of getting pregnant, and you do have the responsibility to ensure the person you're with would be a decent individual if you were to get pregnant. Or, I mean, preferably you wouldn't have sex with him, or B, at the very least, you'd have fucking condom.
As I said, I didn't mind. I was in love.
Sure. And so, just
No,
going
you're
back to
just
the
a
video,
fucking idiot.
you guys, the video is titled "We Are the Victims." I'm not sure if I really heard an answer to this. What specifically are you guys a victim of? And Noelle, let me hear from you.
Well, I don't think I'm like a victim, but
Okay.
prior to going out and meeting Fresh, I told him, look, I'm not on birth control.
Okay.
I don't want to have children out of wedlock. And, I expect you to use protection. And then
Right.
when it came to that, he just didn't ask.
But she didn't fucking stop him. Like, what is this shit? Like, you said, oh, I said all this, but then when we went to fuck, I didn't say anything after that. Like, what is this shit?
Ask me about it, didn't give me a warning. He just kind of blasted. And it took me by
But I don't know. I'm not a chick, but I've heard before that you can tell if someone's not wearing a condom or not. Am I wrong here? Like, can women not tell that whether a guy's wearing a condom or not? From my experience, I've been told that women can tell whether there's a condom or not. So if you're fucking someone without a condom on, there's a possibility the blasting's gonna happen.
surprise because I was trusting that he wasn't going to.
Okay.
But you said
Why?
to use protection.
Like, why would you trust that? Why? Like, I don't get that. Like, these chicks are so fucking dumb. They're really dumb here. Like, they're like, I just trusted he wouldn't. Why? Like, because, like, you know, she'll do, you know, they talked for a little bit before they actually get fucked. Like, did you really have a good sense of that individual? Like, like, well, I'll get into it after but that's like the dumbest statement ever. I trusted he wouldn't. Okay. How about you have even more trust and have him put on a fucking condom?
Or it just kind of happened really fast. It's one of those things where it was like,
Wait, what do you mean?
like the act of having sex happened so fast. Like,
well, so just give us a bit of context here. So you, hold on, let me look at my notes here. You, in terms of meeting him, so you had been following their podcast for a while.
For a while. And I was following Myron. And then one day I saw a reel, followed fresh from it. And then like an hour later, he hit me up and he said, come to Miami. And I thought it was about the podcast because I was already scheduled to be on it. And I was like, oh, like I'm already going to be there in January.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, okay. He's like, that's great. He was like, when you come out here, he's like, I want to take you out. I want to get to know you. So I was like, cool. And then he had me end up coming out in December. It just worked out a little more conveniently because she wasn't going to be there. I didn't know that. So
wait, because she wasn't.
There's
gonna be
crossover.
there?
Yeah, there was
So
a crossover.
he first saw you, and then
So-
he started seeing Daisy.
No,
so-
he met me first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, Fresh wanted some Chinese, then he wanted some fat mac and cheese. My man Fresh was hungry for some Chinese food, and then he was like, you know what? I'd like some potato salad. Or what? Mac and cheese or crackers? What is it? He wanted some mushu, and then he wanted some what's another white person food? Saltines, I guess. I don't know.
You first. Okay.
They met in
So
November. Me and him started messaging end of November.
how long have you been following the podcast?
Fresh and Fit podcast, probably like a year and a half.
Have you seen full episodes?
Not full
You'd
episodes,
see
but like
clips.
clips.
Did you ever watch periods of an episode? You know, you tune in for 30 minutes
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Okay. And so you, he DM'd you.
So she would have a giant amount, far more chances, at least, instead of Ling. Although I don't like Ling's still dumb, doesn't excuse her behavior at all. But she at least has far more chances to understand the type of, you know, guy Fresh is when it comes to, you know, selling the dream.
You guys had a couple of conversations, text
Mhm.
messages, phone calls. He offers to fly you out,
Yeah.
and then he picks you up at the airport,
Mhm.
and then drives back to his place.
Yeah.
And then you guys pretty much immediately go at it. Is that correct?
Yeah. It was.
So doesn't know this guy at all. All right. She doesn't know this guy at all. They done a little messages back and forth, and then she got flew out, and that, like, within meeting each other, they're banging. Like, what? Like I love the fact that these chicks are boldly going on a podcast and just admitting how fucking dumb they are.
From like stepping through the door, to does he throw it down quick?
I mean, I would say cool 10, 15 minutes into getting into his apartment.
No, like what's it called?
Foreplay?
What's the term? Foreplay? No, not foreplay. Was there like any, you know, oh, the weather is
Wait, so you wanted to just
small talk? Was there any small talk? Where
Not
just
really.
step through the door, he puts on some Barry White, goes.
Now, for those who don't know, this chick here, the one talking Noelle, whatever the fuck her name is, she's apparently a Mormon, I guess, or whatever, has some Christian, religious values and stuff. Apparently not really good, because she meets a guy and gets flown out, doesn't really have, really, you know, she has a few back and forth, some conversations, some FaceTiming shit and all that stuff. She gets all that. And then a few minutes after meeting in person, she's banging the dude. So, like, what the fuck is this shit?
Goes at it.
Oh, what the hell? Like, so all this has done, it's really just shown that my man Fresh is a G. He can get Ling Ling to come over and get herself bent over a table, and then she can get Betty White here to come over as well. Like, all these dudes, all these chicks are really doing what they don't understand what they're really doing. It's just giving Fresh more credibility. The fact that he can pull chicks. And it's kind of funny too. Like, okay, again, Fresh is dumb for, you know, nutting chicks without condoms, whatever. It's dumb. Okay, very dumb. But all his detractors, like, one of his biggest criticism is he can't actually pull women. Now we got two women admitting they fell for his dream scheme, and that's fucking hilarious to me.
I mean, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted to just fuck, or
No.
Well, so you step through the door. So how much time elapsed from stepping foot into his place to hooking up?
Probably like 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15
Yeah.
minutes. Okay. And
Lovely.
okay, but I mean, so you were I assume you're enthusiastic about that.
Well, yeah, I was attracted to him. He's charming. You know, we FaceTimed before. And you know, I'm cute.
All right, I'm gonna boost this up to 2 minutes so I can cut down the time so I can go to bed at a decent time.
So
what do you mean you're human?
Like heat of the moment. If 2 people are turned on, what do you expect? Like that's gonna happen.
Did you hook up more than once with him?
Twice.
Yeah. Twice.
Okay.
What do you mean twice? Like
2 separate times. Like one night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's most sisters over. That's most sisters over.
And in both times that you hooked up with him, he didn't use condom.
Yeah, both times.
Like, what is this shit? So she's admitting that like he fucked her without a condom, even though she expressly said, "I don't want to have kids out of wedlock." She doesn't make him wear a condom. First time, all right, you could be like, all right, it was the heat of the moment, shit happened, wasn't really thinking clear. But the second time, you still did it. Like, what is this?
What prevented you?
This guy likes rolling the dice. Holy shit.
This dude can pull chicks. Like, look, let's be honest. All right, look. Plastic Mulan here. All right. Hot. All right, she's hot. All right, Ling Ling's hot. Let's so I get it twisted. Ling Ling's hot. All right. Betty White here, she's hot too. So all these chicks have done is just increase Fresh's reputation of pulling fucking chicks that are attractive. So now all his detractors can't really say shit. Yeah, is Fresh dumb for nutting in chicks without a condom? He's fucking dumb. You're dumb, Fresh. I know you don't care what I think because you're far above my level and shit and all that. But you know, I'm just saying the same thing all your buddies are saying. You're a fucking idiot for fucking chicks without a condom on. All right. But props to you because you're able to pull women despite what your distractors are claiming. You're able to pull 2 women at the same time, basically, and fuck them both without a condom, even after one expressly said, I don't want kids out of wedlock, but she still was attracted to you enough to bang you without a condom, risking having kids out of wedlock. These chicks are just boosting Fresh's reputation.
Okay, well, they're rolling the dice here. All right.
Is that how you guys met?
Through Instagram.
Yeah.
Or that's how me and Daisy
She
met.
liked my photo, and I saw her bedroom. She has photos in his bedroom.
Oh, damn.
Damn. So you saw it, but you were very familiar with their podcast. You'd seen clips. I mean, were you familiar with the? Look, there's a lot of content, both on my podcast, their podcast. Were you aware of the fact that these guys are, the Playboys? They date a lot of women.
I knew they got women, but like I at that point I hadn't even seen the Hail Mary video, so it was like
me neither.
Yeah.
You guys think
Wait, what's the Hail Mary video?
You can go to my. I'll send you.
What, really quickly?
The Hail Mary video. All right, what they're referring to. Brian didn't show it. He got roasted for it. So I'm just gonna say the Hail Mary video is a video where they admit to like, and there's really no proof of this. Okay, they're just it's just them talking. There's no proof of it. You can believe it if you want. I don't know, but the Hail Mary video, if I remember correctly, what they're talking about is a video that they did where they said they would slip Plan B into chicks' drinks or something, or at least Fresh would. He like if she wasn't, or no, he would slip like an abortion pill or something like that. I can't remember. Now, again, you can call Fresh scummy for this, but the video, it seems like when they're speaking about it, they're doing it in a very joking manner. So it may be real, they may not. I don't know. It doesn't really pertain to this conversation, really, because that didn't happen to either of them. Either of these chicks didn't really pertain, which is why Brian didn't end up pulling it up. He did get roasted for it. I think he made the good call because, again, it didn't really pertain to them at all, these 2 chicks at all. But yeah, that's what the Hail Mary video was, if I remember correctly. But they slip either Plan B or an abortion pill or something into their into chick. At least Fresh did. I think Fresh said it. He'd slip Plan B or an abortion pill or something into the girls' drinks, and to make sure they didn't get pregnant. Again, if I'm remembering the video correctly, it was said in a very joking manner, and they laughed about it. So whether it's actually true, I don't know. I've yet to see a woman come out and say, yes, he did this to me. Yet to see that.
Wait, what's it about? Hail Mary video?
He admitted that he made other girl pregnant.
His wife?
No.
Not a girl.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised if he's sleeping with women.
Then he lied to the girl that woman had kids later, then took her to the McDonald's at her job, never talked to her again. Like, told her to get an abortion, never talked to her again.
Okay.
But what do those instances actually have to do with the 2 of you? Like, if Walter had impregnated half of the United States, I don't actually understand how that's pertinent to your particular situation.
It does.
With him.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If your wife or your ex-girlfriend, any woman that you were in a relationship with, if she was pregnant with every guy she dated, does that make you considering still dating her? You would
well,
absolutely
I,
like.
no, I wouldn't still date her.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. You know.
Yeah, but nobody's really questioning whether or not you broke up with the guy.
But then again, she also admitted she's cool with her dude sleeping with other chicks, and presumably because guys don't like wearing condoms, I would assume he'd probably end up going raw with a bunch of other chicks as well. So her point doesn't make any sense at all. And again, you already knew he was a playboy. You admitted this. You knew he was sleeping with other women by your admission that you knew he was a playboy. Playboy means he's banging other chicks. So y'all knew this, and you still fucking fucked him. Like, what is this crap?
Based on the fact that he's out humping a bunch of other women, nobody's questioning. That's not what's in question.
What are you questioning about then?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what the question is. So when you're talking about inside your religious faith of Buddhism takes a neutral stance on abortion, as you know. But you clearly told Fresh inside that phone call that it's against your religion to terminate this pregnancy. Does that make it murder that you terminate?
Another contradiction. Okay, she says it's Buddhist. Buddhists are actually neutral on this fact, but she said it's against her religion.
The pregnancy?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So if he's not a murderer and you're not a murderer, I don't actually hang on. I don't actually understand what the problem is. As what could he have coerced you to do? He didn't coerce you to murder because you're not a murderer and he's not a murderer by your own logic, right?
Well, there is some behavior that she done that made me decide to have this abortion.
Now again, I'm gonna keep fucking saying this. All right, she didn't have the abortion till April 5th by the evidence I have. Okay, hasn't like given me any alternate proofs that said watch my last video. Daisy, not watching an hour-long makeup tutorial to find out whether you actually ended up addressing this. Just answered the fucking question when it was asked to you. That's what you should have done before you rage quit. But you had the abortion April 5th at the same time that they addressed the video, addressed your allegations. And then that was 3 days prior to them actually going scorch earth and actually really, really addressing and bring up all your past and stuff. So your timeline don't match up.
But even if all of the behavior, even if he did coerce you, let's just say hypothetically he did coerce you to have an abortion. Hang on, almost done.
Yeah.
Even if he did hypothetically coerce you to have an abortion, if it isn't murder, then isn't that like coercing you to pick up a rake in the yard? I mean, what is the actual problem?
The actual problem is I lost the baby. That I was supposed to.
No. You didn't lose the baby. You killed the baby. Okay. You didn't lose him. You didn't miscarry due to all the stress, which is what you're trying to infer here. You didn't do that. You went in to Planned Parenthood and got it a fucking abortion. That's what you ended up doing. So don't try that bullshit.
I supposed to have it with Walter, and he doesn't want it.
Yeah, but why would that be a problem if it's not a person? If you don't believe that it's murder to terminate the pregnancy, you don't believe he's a murderer, you don't believe you're a murderer, then what's the actual problem? It's just like picking a rake up in the yard, right?
I think you're just playing the language game. I've seen your show before. There's no way I can beat you. I'm just not going to argue with us. I think women in here, they won't understand me.
She doesn't like Andrew. You can tell look at her fucking face and eyes. She fucking hates Andrew. But here's the thing. She doesn't like him because he's showing the flaw in her logic. Her logic is that she's Buddhist. She doesn't believe she doesn't believe she's a murderer. Therefore, she doesn't believe she's a murderer because it's not a life that she killed. Therefore, Walter's not a murderer. What is her problem? And she's deflecting and sidestepping the question and trying women will understand. Guess what? The women don't even fucking understand you because they kept trying to wait, you're in love with a guy after 4 months? What is this crap?
Well, I'll ask
I don't want to argue with you because I know I can't.
Well, I'm not trying to argue. I'm really just curious.
You're just into this details and so specific, trying to catch me something or twist my word. But people understand.
He's really not. He's just asking. He's like, all right, so you admit that you're not a murderer. You don't believe this is a life because you're Buddhist and your belief is neutral, even though you said that it's against your religion to kill a child. But they're actually neutral on abortion. So your worldview is Buddhism, okay? And you agree to all that. And then you say, all right, well, then if you're neutral, you don't think it's a life, it's not murder if you do it. Why is it murder? Therefore you would agree that Walter's not a murderer because if you're not a murderer, he's not a murderer. What did he actually do to coerce you to do if you don't believe it's murder and nothing was really done wrong? That's what he's really trying to do.
I'm really not. I'm just trying to understand.
I'm not trying to here to defend on me.
Yeah, you're a dumbass.
I know that I made mistake by dating this guy. I didn't know that who he is. And also I brought the baby, yes, but I believe this is the best choice because I don't want to father.
No, I understand all that. I understand all that. I'm not even playing the gotcha. I'm just telling you that if you're saying that it's not murder to abort the child, but you're saying he coerced you into aborting it, I still then don't even understand what exactly he coerced you into doing, which was bad, because there's no murder. There's no what's the actual problem? I don't get it.
Coercion.
Yeah, but the abortion, you consider it not to be a murder.
If it's a murder, it's not me. I'm not a murderer. It's Walter.
Well, how could he be a murderer if you don't consider it murder to abort?
Because he harassed me, on the internet harassed me, and he caused me emotional damage, and all that.
She claimed she was emotionally damaged. She caused it, but again. First off, she was the one who exposed in the first place. Second off, she got the abortion April 5th. and they didn't actually bring it up to their platform. It was on Instagram. Sure, it was public, but they didn't bring it up to their audience, really. They didn't address it to their audience till April 5th, the same day you got your abortion. And April 8th, it wasn't until then they actually went scorched earth and brought up your past. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I get that. But how could it actually be murder if you don't consider it to be murder if you abort?
I didn't say I don't consider it's murder. I said,
Okay, so you do consider it murder, so you're
coercion.
murder, or
I'm not saying, I said it's a coercion.
a coercion to do what, though? It's not a coercion to do anything bad if it's not a murder.
I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Well, if you terminate a pregnancy, it's not murder, right?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. So then even if he coerced you to terminate the pregnancy, what is the actual problem? Because you didn't do, it's like picking up a rake in the yard, right? It's like putting dishes away. It's if it's not murder,
For you, yes,
then
it's
what
putting
did
dishes
he
away.
coerce you to do that was actually bad? I don't get it.
For you, it's putting a dish away because you're not in my position. You wouldn't understand how I feel when I actually carried a baby. It was a baby, a dog in my belly, and I had to end it.
Yeah, but
you didn't have to. You chose to. Like, what is this crap? You didn't have to. You chose to. You didn't have to kill the child. You chose to kill the child. Don't try that bullshit with us here, lady.
Murder, right?
It's not
So why
murder,
is it
but
possible?
it's
Why is it
also not
possible?
something we should encourage people to do.
Yeah, why not though? It's not a problem. It's not murder.
It's just something she didn't want to do. And that's
Andrew, if you don't mind, I'll come.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
No problem.
If she didn't want to do it, why did she do it?
Are you encouraging people to have abortion? Is that what you're saying?
Go ahead, Andrew.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't because I consider it murder, but you don't consider it murder. So if you don't consider it murder, why would it be a problem if people went and had abortion? I don't understand. That makes no sense.
You don't understand the consequence for women to get an abortion, the health damage, and all that other stuff emotionally. So you just don't understand because you're not a woman. You're not a woman.
That's why I was perhaps hoping that you could explain it to me. That if you don't,
I just did. I don't.
No, you didn't. You just made you said a bunch of buzzwords. It was emotionally damaging. Well, that's all you really said. It was emotionally damaging. And the problem was he coerced you, but you don't believe it's murder. So how did he coerce you into doing something bad?
Just did explain to you. I think people understand what I meant.
So no one explained. Let me show you how much no one fucking understood. Go to the comments. Okay, no, wait, hold on. Okay, show chat replay. Wait. The fuck is the comments? Oh my god. Hold on. Okay, well, I can't apparently
he
show.
coerced you to damage your health?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, by asking you to have this abortion.
So look, let's see, messed up with her mind. Ha ha ha. Emotional damage. Poor baby didn't stand chance. She's arguing. It's still bad, but not murder. Nope. She chose it. So people really don't understand your point here, Daisy. Okay, she must be Taiwan. Talking points, no responsibility, blaming others for the action. All they understand is what you're fucking talking, like the crap you're saying. Like they don't understand your actual point here. All right. Well.
He knows it's a. He gave me a food that's frozen that he knows it's gonna like make me sick, and he still gave it to me.
He gave you what?
I'm just trying to make an example.
Okay, an analogy.
Yes.
So the thing is that if Walter doesn't consider an abortion murder, and you don't consider an abortion murder, I don't even really understand what the problem is here. The consequence of sex is pregnancy, and if neither of you consider abortion murder, he doesn't and you don't, then I don't actually understand what you're upset about, to be honest with you.
I think like her issue is like she wanted somebody to go through it with her. And I don't know why 4 months is really short, but that's not.
See, look, even she's trying to explain it. She really doesn't understand what the fuck Daisy's saying. She doesn't this doesn't make any sense to me. She's trying to explain it, but you can tell she doesn't even understand.
Yeah, but does that make any sense to you? If I asked you, for instance, if you got pregnant and neither one of you consider it to be a murder or in any way, shape, or form immoral to do abortion.
I do consider it a murder.
Well, then that would make you a murderer, ma'am.
No, I didn't make the decision because I wanted to. Because
you said he forced you.
Did he go with you and do it, or
no, he didn't.
So if you don't consider yourself a murderer, then you can't consider having an abortion murder.
So you're saying that's okay? It's okay for him to do that?
Well, not from my worldview. I think it's awful.
Is that okay to get pregnant a woman and ask her to get abortion, like taking a pregnancy, like taking a Plan B pill? Is that okay?
From my worldview, no. But from your worldview, you just said it's fine. You just said from your perspective, from the Buddhist perspective.
I didn't say that's okay. I said it's not okay. That's why I'm upset.
So is it murder?
See, you keep playing this question.
No, because you're not making any sense. You're saying I believe it's murder, so then you're a murderer because you participated in the act. Okay, you're an accessory to murder if you believe abortion is murder. Okay, you're just too fucking dumb because you realize, oh, I'm not making any fucking sense here, so I'm just gonna try and confuse everyone.
Explain this.
Well, I mean, it's because I don't understand. It's not if you didn't take a human life, then why is it actually a problem?
That is a human life. I was pregnant.
Then that would be a murder, wouldn't it?
I didn't say
and if it is a murder, then that would make you a murderer, wouldn't it?
Not me. I didn't because I didn't want to.
His friend
Did he swallow the pill for you, or
Wait, so are you saying that Fresh is the murderer?
Because he wanted to do it.
Because he wanted to do it. You guys heard the voice message. He pushed me to do it. He never showed up.
Did you just not want to be a single mother?
Andrew,
and you
I'll
just
ask a
wanna
couple
have a baby?
I didn't want to be a single mother.
Look at this. Like no accountability. You're the one who fucking did it, lady. All right. You're the one who went in, got your abortion prior to any of the harassment you claim you got, which you probably did. I'm not actually I'm going to grant you that you got harassed after after they exposed all your shit and exposed the fact that you leaked all this stuff. I'm sure you got harassed, but you're claiming the harassment caused you to do it. But you got the abortion April 5th. Okay, so you can't blame him for any of this because you got it the same day they addressed it publicly. And your entire thing is I believe it's murder, but I'm the one who's not a murderer. But you're the one who did it. You could have just. Here's what you could have done, Daisy. All right. You could have exposed all this. Then you could have been like, you know what? I really don't want to hear any of this stuff. I'm going to turn off, my social media so I do not have to see any of this negativity. I'm going to accept that Walter does not want to be a father to my child, that I'm claimed that is his father. I will take him to court for child support. I'm going to turn off my social media, delete my Twitter, that you have done several times, or at least at the very least deactivated it several times. Okay. And I've covered that too. So you deactivated your Twitter account several times. I assume avoid the negativity that you're receiving. You could have done all that, kept yourself away from that. Stop doing these various podcasts trying to expose Walter and everything like that, and just gone about your life quietly and continue about your day. Take him to court once you give birth. You could have done all that, but you didn't. You decided to expose all your text messages, which started all this. They addressed it, and then you went on Abba and preach and made a bunch of claims. So then they exposed you more, and then after all that, you continue to do your charade of podcast, and then you got exposed by the people who did your podcast, who you did podcasts with, which is why you're really angry, because you're realizing that although none of the people you went on like Walter, they also like you a lot less. So that's why you're really angry. But now you're trying to shift blame for the fact that you're the one who chose to have the abortion. You're the one who was who went to Planned Parenthood on April 5th, got the abortion, and now you're claiming it's murder. But I'm not the one who's a murderer. Walter is, by forcing you to do this, even though you got it the same day they addressed it publicly. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
I didn't want my baby daddy to be like someone like that.
But no matter what, you still had the decision to either take the pill or not take the pill, right?
Yeah.
So it just seems like you're putting all of the accountability on him. I think that's what we're trying to say.
Well, I didn't. Well, definitely not. That's not what I meant.
Let's get back to the video,
That's
though.
exactly
So you
what
did have
you
this
meant.
video
Stop fucking lying.
called We Are the Victims.
You just got shown by Madison here that you make no fucking sense. You're trying to put all the accountability onto Fresh, who all he said was, don't have the kid. I don't want kids. Okay. I don't want kids with you specifically. And here's how you can do it to not have kids. And apparently for that, he's the murderer, but you're the one who actually went and did the thing. Okay.
Nick, if you can just pull it up real quick. We Are the Victims. There it is. It's a nice penthouse apartment, by the way. Is that
Airbnb?
Airbnb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So how many dudes did you have to fuck while you were escorting to afford that?
Okay.
How many
You guys,
dicks
it's a fairly
did you
long
have
one.
to
I actually
afford that?
watched it, and I have a couple notes here with timestamps. If needed, I'll pull up the actual point of time corresponding to some of my questions I had. So starting with Daisy, you said that 13 minutes in, you, when it comes to abortion and pregnancy, you consider it as you actually have a life in your belly. Okay.
So you're a murderer.
At 1830, in that video, you said one of the reasons you got the abortion, or perhaps women can get abortions, is you feel it carrying a baby, you feel pain, bleeding.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
That doesn't
you said
make
that
any
perhaps
sense.
one of the reasons women get abortions is for health issues. Like they might get it for health issues.
Wrong. It's incorrect. Actually, health issues are less of the reason why. Okay. Can't remember what percentage it is, but it's a low percentage. Okay. And the same with rape and incest. And yeah, so medical reasons are actually the least amount of reason why individual women get an abortion. Most of the time, it's because of conveniency. It's inconvenient for me to have this kid because I don't have the money to do it, even though I made the choice to fuck someone without a condom. It's inconvenient. So that's a lie. It's not health issues. You didn't have any health issues that required you to have the abortion. And I'm not saying that, the health issues are issues that you brought on yourself by going on and recording someone and then leaking that. And then all of a sudden no one's on your side. And then going on a round of podcasts trying to expose an individual. Turns out, hey, most people aren't going to be on your side because they don't fucking like you because you're a fucking liar. those aren't health issues you can blame on anyone else except yourself because you're the one who did it. But actual health issues, like I would die if the pregnancy went through, that's an actual health issue that I would consider. Not that I brought a bunch of drama on myself by trying to do some sort of thing. And and it brought a lot of negativity. And I'm too dumb to just leave my account deactivated so I don't have to listen to anything they're saying and go about my fucking day because the world revolves around me and my own mind.
Was that one of the reasons that you decided, or that wasn't related?
Decide what? Not to keep the baby?
Yeah, you said someone might choose to get an abortion because they face potential health issues if they continued with the pregnancy.
I was very depressed.
Okay, there you go.
That was not the only reason. It's just everything put together.
Okay.
Your
but you
bullshit
didn't have any health issues, though.
I was mentally caused physically.
Doesn't count. Okay. Your mental issues don't fucking count because all of your mental issues that you're talking about, I'm not talking about schizophrenia or shit like that. I'm talking about the issues she's claiming. All the issues that you are claiming are your own fucking fault. You started all of this. Everyone knows Fresh and Fit. They don't bring anything up from their personal lives until someone does it themselves. You've seen it a bunch of times happen. All right. You see it happen with the Anna Quinn chick who, claimed that, it was, Fresh or who exposed Myron for trying to hit on her and trying to get his dick sucked from her and shit. Okay. Happened with Alba and Preach, happened with everything. They don't expose shit unless someone does it themselves. So you brought it all on yourselves. Like, guess what? This could have happened. You could have been pregnant. You guys could have argued about this behind the scenes. Everything would have been quiet. Fresh wouldn't have said shit. All right. Wouldn't have said shit. Would have been quiet the entire time. It's all on you, baby. You're the one who started this.
All right. Now at 29:30, Nick, you actually skip to 29:30, and we'll actually play from 29:30. Yeah, go ahead. Let me know when you have it, okay? Shit, hold on, one of my chats. Let me actually read this chat really quick. Throwing a wrench into the mix. Happy Mother's Day. Have your parents told you about how they met? If so, how? Which parent was more? I'll have to come back to this. Oh wait, did it not trigger? Wait. Oh shit. Fuck. That's weird. I don't know why it's not triggering. One sec. Oh, I did pause it. Okay. All the TTSs are shit. Just a reminder, guys. TTSs and chats. We're just gonna pause it just to kind of get through some of this stuff, and then we'll open it back up in a little bit. Okay. So Nick, have it. Go ahead.
Like we're here to take you down.
You can pause it. What do you mean by you're here to take him down? Like, is that your goal? You want to take Walter down?
Yes.
Why?
Because you hurt me.
Okay, maybe that.
Revenge. So she just admitted, all right, she just admitted live that the whole reason she's doing any of this is because she wants revenge. Not a really good justifiable reason for anything like this. And again, just puts you in a poor light because guess what? Like, all Myron does is address shit that you say. He addresses what you say, he roasts you, brings up your shit, and then boom, done. That's all he does. Okay. He doesn't attack. He hadn't attacked first. He only has done so in response to you. So you're claiming you want to try and do some revenge, but there's nothing like you're starting all this. If you just shut up, stop doing this stuff, Fresh and Myron won't say anything more about you. Really, they really don't. If you're quiet, like you haven't heard them say anything about Anna Quinn, who that was a big scandal, or not a scandal, but that was a big thing back like a year or so ago or whatever when that happened. You haven't heard him mention her at all, ever, except like the few times when someone brings her up, like Abba and Preach brings her up, and then they got to like go through it again, rehash it, like, no, this is incorrect. Look at this. This is what happened. But that's about it. So no, you want revenge because you're upset that guy sold you the dream, pumped and dumped you, and you're upset about it. That's all it is.
That, like, let's just say that, take your word for it.
You have no, like, there's no morality you're standing on. You're just upset that he pumped and dumped you, sold you a dream. And actually, she just admitted this, all right? Because this was the allegation Myron made, that this whole thing started because Fresh decided he wasn't going to buy her an apartment, even though he promised her, apparently. He didn't want to move forward, and he broke up with her, and he was done with her. And he just that. So that's what Myron said. Myron said that, the whole reason why all this is happening is because Fresh said, hey, I'm not going to buy you an apartment, and I'm dumping you. So he just proven that Myron's right, that all this is revenge because you're upset because he didn't buy you the apartment he promised.
And that he did hurt you. I don't doubt you there. Do you think it's like, do you see yourself just moving on from this?
What do you mean?
Like, y'all could just drop it. Just move on with your lives.
I did. That's why I chose
in
the end to take the pill.
No, I don't mean that. I mean just like this ongoing conflict with them.
Should I move on, you mean?
Yeah, if you shut up about it, they don't talk about you.
No, I mean, have you considered that?
Yes, I am moving on with my life. And
you're not. You're just trying.
Yes, he still need to get what he deserves.
And to be clear, you're doing a defamation lawsuit, and then also it's like a coercion. It's intentional. I believe it's, well, I don't know what you're specifically going for, but intentional infliction of emotional distress, something like that.
Yeah, and he could have bring me a serious STD.
But he didn't. So what are your damages?
Yeah, damages.
I don't think you can sue somebody for what they could have potentially done to you.
Yeah.
So he didn't give you an STD.
He did.
Oh.
I'm fine right now. He gave me ultra infection.
Oh, what?
A UTI.
UTI.
Oh, well, hold on, but
But you can
That's-
get
that's-
it.
that's-
Too long. Like,
I don't think a UTI isn't necessarily sexual.
Okay, fine. Then.
But so you intend to
let's
sue
say
him? You intend to sue him for a
I am not.
UTI?
No, not just this.
Okay. Well, no, I know there's other things, but
Yeah.
I'm asking why you were planning to sue him. But
Why shouldn't I? Like they are defaming me and putting slander on me. Why shouldn't I? Like everybody's calling me.
You started it, you dumb bitch. Like you started it. Like all this started because you leaked the phone messages. Like that's it. Like you started it. They got you, like you exposed them. They got you back, or you exposed Fresh. They got you back. You went back and forth and tried to expose them some more. They got you back once a fucking again, and now you're complaining about it because guess what? Fresh is fucking winning. That's all that's going on here. Fresh is winning. You're mad about it.
Who's they? Like them?
He's part of Myron. So
what's the main thing that they're accusing you of that you find defamatory?
they call me an professional escort.
An escort. Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have you have no history of escorting.
No.
Okay.
They
'Cause they
also,
did release
That you claim they have a proof according to they have receipts showing that you probably were.
the video, which
I already.
that's not you though, correct?
I
Now, guess what? If they have reason to believe that is actually you, because apparently someone, the person that was paid her, came forward with her video of her. I have no idea why, whatever. But according to him, they came forward with that. That's information they're taking. They're taking as truth. They've described why they think what they believe. And guess what? You can think something and be wrong about it, and you can't be sued for defamation. You'd be like, well, I was given this information. I found it credible. And you're not going to be able to sue them for defamation because they had a reasonable reason why to think X thing was true. That's my understanding of defamation. So you're out of your mind if you're thinking you're going to get them with a defamation lawsuit for calling you an escort when it looks like you fucking were an escort, apparently.
addressed that already,
Sure.
which is also why I'm working with my lawyer.
Okay.
And they ruined my reputation, and I lost a lot.
You have damages?
Yes.
Okay.
And
What damages? You're going to have to provide, like, what damages do you have?
they also said,
Oh, and guess what? If she really had like any intention of going for a defamation lawsuit, or lawyers would be saying, hey, don't talk about this. Shut up. Like Jane Sexton is doing.
call me a thief, which I am not. I've never stolen from anybody.
Well, apparently Tree of Logic says you have too. So it was like, I don't remember them specifically saying anything, but Tree of Logic came out and said something about it. So actually, it's Tree of Logic, someone that you were interviewed that we were best friends with earlier, till she's like, you're such a bullshitter.
You're filing this lawsuit in New York, is that correct?
I think so, yeah. Because my lawyers are in New York.
Did you do any venue shopping? Because New York actually has fairly strong, it's a good state, is my understanding, to be a plaintiff in a defamation case. When it comes to being, like, if you're in New York, I think,
What do you mean? You're saying that's difficult to do it?
no, I'm saying that's probably one of the best states if you're a plaintiff in a defamation case.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious why you didn't, given that he lives in Florida, you were in Florida when,
I don't know any lawyer in Florida.
it just seems like venue shopping a little bit. Like you chose the best state to file a
I don't know.
defamation
I was in New
lawsuit.
York when I dealt
Or
with
you haven't filed it yet, correct?
Actually,
Not yet.
now I'm I was rethinking, like maybe that's not like my thought. Actually, she might actually not be able to file. Well, I mean, she could file, but it might not be at work in New York because the majority of the time all this happened, she was mostly in Florida, and she's only now suing them. And I think she was probably in Florida far more often than she was in New York at this point. So you could say that her residence was more in Florida, and she should actually be filing a lawsuit against Fresh in Florida, not New York, because that's where her reputation was. It was in Florida. And that's how that was affected. That's how that's affected. And the difference with that and Rekieta lawsuit with Monograph lawsuit with Rekieta is Monograph lives in Colorado. So all of the presumed defamation damages would happen while he is in Florida. Or maybe not. I don't, maybe I'm incorrect in this. Maybe it's because this all happened after she moved to, okay, maybe it's actually, I guess maybe she could file in New York because all this happened while she was living in New York, so all the damage would actually be from in New York, where her primary residence is. So it might not be venue shop, or she may have moved there as a venue shopping, established some residence there before leaking all of this. That may have been it. All right, so yeah, maybe she could actually file this in New York, and it'd be actually a good file. Well, I mean, a good file is in like she could do it without, but I doubt it. I don't actually think she's doing a filing because I'm pretty sure lawyers would be screaming at her like, shut the fuck up. Don't say this.
But
I'll
it's
still give it a
100%,
shot. Yeah.
but 100% you are intending.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll try to get through all this because I know Andrew's got a bunch of questions. I'll try to get through this as quick as I can. Okay. You said at 38 minutes that you hid the time that you had your abortion. So there's a period of time while there's this like kind of is going viral on the internet.
Yeah, I didn't hide it.
No, but you said you hid your abortion.
She did hide it. It's April 5th.
Different between secret and lie. I did not lie. I just didn't tell anybody. I got it down.
Look, a lie of omission is still a fucking lie, all right? If you're going around saying you still have the kid and not saying that you had the abortion, you're lying by omission. A lie of omission is still a fucking lie, you fucking moron.
I didn't tell anybody in public until when I was drinking a glass of wine in Miami, and they called me out. They're like, "You're pregnant." I still didn't want to explain.
But didn't you make a post where you were like, "Oh, it's okay to drink a little bit even if you're pregnant"?
Yeah,
but at that time you weren't even pregnant.
Yes, I was just trying to educate these people. Like, it's okay to have one glass of wine.
Well, at that point, were you still intending to carry on as if you, at least publicly, that you were still pregnant?
I was gonna tell them anyway.
Okay.
So I scheduled the podcast with.
Sure.
No, I mean the show was duped down, so I was gonna tell them like later on. But I just wanted to make vacation, like a little vacation.
Okay. Nick, can you go to 5425?
Like, come on, really? Like, look, you know for a fact. We all know for a fact. If she hadn't been caught, she would continue this and saying that she was fucking pregnant. Okay? She would be continuing with this fucking lie. Don't some crap. Don't believe this crap. Like, oh, I totally was going to do this. Yeah, no, you're only admitting that you got an abortion because you got fucking caught.
Fine. Let me know when you have it in the video. And just a reminder, guys, we are taking a pause on all the chats and the TTSs just while we get through the segment. Go ahead, Nick.
Until I take you guys down, like I'm not gonna shut up.
Okay.
Like, told me to shut up.
You can pause. I'm just like, so what? I think I might have already asked this, but what prompted you to decide to like leak all this, go public?
That's my revenge. To be honest, he hurt me. I want to hurt him. That's all.
I'm just curious, like, because I mean,
wait, did you say revenge?
Yes.
That you did this out of revenge?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. They didn't like that the fact I leaked the message. Nobody agreed with this, but I still do it.
Yeah, and you don't like the fact people leaked messages of you.
Not regretting it. It's because when somebody tried to hurt me, and actually they did, and they don't think about the consequence after. And am I letting them just like?
They didn't go out to hurt you. Actually, you hurt them first. You struck the first bullet. Okay, you threw the first stone, and then they won. Like, that's what really she's mad about. Like, that's one thing she's really mad about is that fact that she tried this and she lost. She's lost. She's effectively lost.
To like move on like that. Like, they're never gonna learn a lesson if they don't. If I didn't do anything actually like that's gonna damage them. So you can go ahead and judge me for being
Guess what? They've had this happen before and it didn't really work. So you think you're gonna win this time when you're just a fucking liar this entire time?
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the public.
Yeah,
like, I really didn't mind. Like, they can.
Motivation. You think that the primary motivation that you had was vengeance? You wanted to pay back.
First, revenge, because he hurt me, so I want to hurt him. Second, because I wanted to warn other women as well, because there is a lot of messages I've been getting that.
When you say he hurt you, what precisely did he do?
Now, I want you guys to pay attention to what Andrew's doing. Okay, I want you to pay attention. Okay, because you're probably watching like, oh, he's agreeing with her. This is okay, all right. Just watch. Just keep watching.
He broke up with you?
No, he made me pregnant, and he didn't want to take the accountability.
But okay, does him getting you pregnant, was that him hurting you?
He gave me pregnant and didn't want me to keep the baby. That hurts.
Was he like telling you he didn't want to have a baby?
You just heard the voice. You heard exactly what he said. Go take a pill. He didn't even say, "Oh, come to Florida, come to Miami. I'm gonna go to the hospital with you." If we broke up already. We can't keep the kid. Like, he can just say anything like that from somebody that's nice, charming, to somebody that's like, I'm just a stranger. Like, deal with yourself. Like, that's how I get it. That's how fuming I was.
Yeah, and he deserved to be punished for that, right?
Thanks for that.
So I'm just
he did, right? He deserved to be punished. He deserved for you to punish him for doing that horrible thing to you, right?
Well, I didn't expect that from you, but thank you.
Okay, but he did, right? Didn't he?
He's asking you.
Yeah, didn't he deserve to? He deserved it, right?
He did.
Yeah, so he needed to be punished, didn't he?
Yeah, is he really punished? I don't know.
Yeah, and he still needs to be punished, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Just again, keep paying attention because it's hilarious.
Like, see him in jail or like?
Yes.
Whoa, come on. Jail?
Yes.
Straight to
For
jail.
what?
Yes.
Straight to jail.
Yes.
For what?
For knocking you up.
For making me pregnant, for making other women pregnant, for giving other women STD while knowing he sleep with multiple women without protection.
Hold on. It's already been proven Fresh doesn't have an STD. Okay, you're gonna have to provide some fucking proof if you're saying he has an STD because it's been proven he doesn't. He doesn't have anything. They exposed that live. Set. And that's embarrassing right there. Like, he's got to go and take a test to prove he doesn't have an STD. This bitch is fucking lying. So there you go. So you're lying again, Daisy.
Okay, Maddie, go fix that, please. I think they might have it. Just double check. Sorry, guys. Welcome to the Whatever Podcast. Production quality is fantastic. Wait, hold on. It's good. All right. Oh, that's what fell. This thing. Okay. All right. So I am a little bit confused. So if you had so much conviction about keeping a child and being against abortion, the father being a perceived or actual scumbag who doesn't want involvement. And the ensuing drama, the public drama, it doesn't seem like enough pretext to go and get an abortion if it's against your religion, against your values. So I'm just a little confused
There's
there.
a lot of different reasons. Also, one of the main reasons because I was like during the pregnancy, why I had to fight with all of them. I was like very stressed. I was worried
Why
about
were
my
you
health. Why?
You were stressed. Okay.
When I stressed?
No, I'm not questioning that you were stressed, but why were you stressed? Because of
because they
the
were
drama.
putting the drama, the allegations on me, and also
Allegations didn't happen 3 days after you got the abortion. Okay, so all those allegations didn't happen 3 days after you got an abortion, or because I don't remember the full video that they did. No. If I remember correctly, the April 5th video really just said, yeah, this is actually happening. We're pursuing legal actions. That's what it really came down to. I don't think they made any actual allegations until the April 8th video, which was 3 days after she got her abortion. So, what are you talking about? What stress were you having? They didn't make any allegations till April 5th
especially
or April
he
8th.
never like actually made any announcement. He was keeping his mouth shut while his partner was speaking for him. So I want you to just be a man up.
Because the reason that Myron's speaking up and not Fresh is because Fresh is involved in the lawsuit. That's how you know. And his lawyer, James Sexton, is saying, do not speak. Don't say anything. I don't want you to say a fucking thing. And he is following his lawyer's advice. He's not, which you aren't apparently doing, if you even have a lawyer. You know, she's claiming she's going to have a lawsuit come down, and we'll see if that's even happening.
Like, even if you made a mistake, just say, Daisy, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. I apologize. Even though it takes both to, to get pregnancy. So, like, two. So, like, I'll be okay. Like, he's just so stubborn. He wouldn't even apologize to me.
Wait, apologize for what?
For what?
Like, well, I mean, he's a real son of a bitch, right? I mean, treating you like that. I mean, he kind of has it coming, right? Kind of has it coming.
Well, I didn't really know that because personally, I just wanted to feel who this guy is. Like, I didn't know he's like this scumbag until he broke up with me.
But you were willing to get, like, again, here comes the contradiction. She didn't know any of this. She's like, I wasn't too sure about anything, but you're still willing to get pregnant after 4 months by him. Make that make sense, people. Make that make sense.
Searching on Google, a lot of things came out. I'm like, wait, this can't be true. So that's also why.
Oh, okay. So now apparently you Googled him, found out, some interesting things. You didn't say, let me wait and see and not get pregnant by a dude that has some of these shit coming out in the ether. Maybe I should do some more research on him.
Somebody treats you like that, I mean, they deserve to be punished by you, don't they?
Yes.
Yes.
So a couple more questions. So you said that would you say that the primary reason for you getting the abortion was because you were stressed out by this whole thing?
That's the main reason.
That's the main reason.
There's another reason. As I told everybody, I was growing up in a single family. My parents broke up when I was 10. And when I was in childhood, when I was in school, people always laughing about me, making fun about me without, like, I don't have a mother. Like, it's just like very tough for me. Like, my childhood, very tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want my kid to go through similar situation as me.
Okay. So, but you said the primary reason was because of the stress. Is that correct? The stress, that was the main reason from all the drama with Fresh and all that. That was the main reason you decided to get the abortion.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that you kind of brought some of this on yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, like, looking at all this retrospectively, had you kept all this private, had you not leaked the phone call? Because I mean, they have grounds to have been upset with you for leaking a private phone call.
Yeah.
You could argue that that's a pretty big breach of trust, even though you guys had broken up. And I mean, look, maybe he wasn't moving in the best way when it comes to his relationship with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, leaking a private, well, it's not just leaking the phone call. I mean, you intentionally, there's like forethought. It was premeditated. You recorded the phone call with the intention of then releasing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, perhaps none of this stress would have been caused if you just tried to handle this privately. And you did take in this conflict, in this war that you're now finding yourself in, you did kind of take the first shot, at least from how it looks.
Maybe, yeah.
It was leaked or not, he was still going to tell her to abort it, and that's still going to cause stress.
Yes.
But she says, I mean,
I was already very stressed when he told me he didn't want the kid
Sure.
at the beginning. Like, I gave him 4 days to think about it. Nothing happened. He
Sure.
never replied my message after all.
But I mean, just myself being involved with, being out there publicly doing a podcast, and I mean, it can be very stressful getting, I don't know if you've got any death threats. I've had death threats. I've had nasty messages, and then you have people lying about you. You have people saying nasty things about you. I don't suspect any of that would have occurred if this would have been kept private. And so, it just seems like
That's because
I'm not saying Fresh was perfect, but it does seem in terms of making this whole thing public, they obviously responded to you. But you kind of, once you opened that door, you sort of opened Pandora's box and kind of, well, okay, you went public.
You started it. Like, this whole thing is, you started it. You're the one who started all of this. All of it. You started it all. Okay? They didn't say shit until you leaked all this stuff, and then they addressed it April 5th, the same time you got your abortion, and then they didn't bring any of these so-called allegations against you of being an escort till April 8th. You started all of this. All the stress you had, like and you're not you didn't really cite the reason that you had an abortion was the fact that Fresh said he didn't want to have the baby, or he wanted you to have an abortion. You didn't cite really that as the main cause of stress. You said the main cause of stress that you received was due to the fact that you had all this negativity coming towards you, all this hate. They rallied their followers against you. They made allegations against you. All this, you're saying all of this caused you to have an abortion, but the abortion happened the same day that they publicly addressed your leak.
Like, he's gonna obviously respond publicly.
Yeah, okay, fine. You make sense to me. Yeah.
At a minute,
I am taking the consequence on my behavior.
And in that video, an hour and 5 minutes in, you were speaking about Abba Atlas.
Yeah.
Me and him, we're actually related because we share the last name, apparently.
Abba?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not. I'm not. We have the same last name, but we're not related. You were upset that he betrayed you by leaking DMs.
Yeah.
Isn't that precisely what you did to Walter?
Yeah. That's
You leaked a phone call?
different though, because
How's it different?
Abba and I, we don't like. I didn't hurt him or anything. Like,
Didn't hurt who?
Abba, like, I didn't do anything bad to him. Like, he didn't have to leak this message. The reason why he did it because he probably wanted to show off, or he wants to because he hates fresh and fit, so that's gonna make him look good. Okay, your ex-girlfriend actually hate on me, stuff like that. And he actually he had a huge, he almost hit 1 million reviews after he did the interview with me. Like, he's the benefit. He get all the benefits after the interview. Like, he didn't have to leak the private message. Like, that was
That's precisely
You didn't have to leak any of the messages.
what you did to Walter. And you went beyond just leaking DMs. You also leaked. You recorded the phone call and leaked the phone call.
Yeah, but Abba
Which is a felony in Florida.
didn't have to because I wasn't in a relationship with Abba.
Sure.
We were just cooperating. Like, why do you have to leak this
There's a
message? And he doesn't have to. Like, he's a big YouTuber. Like, that just shows him that I really had my respect for him. That's why I was very honest with him. He know, by the way, he knew that I was getting an abortion. I told him early.
So he didn't.
So he acts like, oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know she was getting an abortion. He knows everything in the beginning. I treated him like a friend.
You felt betrayed though by Abba.
And for no reason. He wants what he wants.
So you feel like you
when people betray you, right? That you should be able to go after them, don't you think? I think so. Don't you think you should be able to go after people hard who betray you?
Yeah.
And do horrible things to you? Don't you feel like that?
So think about how you feel about what Abba did to you.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that that's how Walter feels about what you did to him, times 100?
What I do to him to cost
Well, in terms of like,
it didn't cost him anything.
in terms of the leaking the private, because Abba, he leaks the private DMs between you and him.
Yeah.
You leak these phone calls, text messages, etc. That's probably the way that you feel about that is how Walter feels about what your leaks. But probably way worse because there was more leaks, it was much more impactful. And also you said that you feel like you didn't do anything wrong to Abba, correct?
Yeah, I don't think I did anything wrong because
what if I told you that maybe Walter feels that way? That he feels he didn't do anything wrong?
He didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I don't know, but maybe he feels that way.
But that's not true, right?
I don't know precisely what.
That's not true. Everybody knows that's not true.
Well, you said it seems like your main quarrel is that he got you pregnant. It's not clear to me though if that is enough pretext to get revenge.
It's that it's okay. He can just be honest with me. Like, he didn't have to play all this game to make me pregnant and dump him and didn't want the kid. That's like something very serious for me. Like, I really wanted the kid.
Okay.
That's like something you wish for a long time. Then
You apparently didn't because you aborted the kid before they even addressed it.
you couldn't have it. You know what I mean? That makes me suffer a lot. That's why I
he took that away from you.
That's why I have so much hate. That's why I did this. I've never done this. I swear I've never done this to anyone in my life.
Right. But, just the fact he took that away from you. I mean, how could you even help yourself but go after him like this, right?
I don't know what you're trying to say, but
well, I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, like you said, you've never done this to anybody. You never felt hatred like this.
I've never.
That's never. I mean, because he took this away from you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, he deserves everything that's coming to him, and then some, doesn't he?
Moving on in the video, at the 1:12:50 mark in that video, I think you're talking about Noelle. You said that Noelle, she's a victim because he slept with her without a condom and nutted in her without telling her. Okay. But you said you don't view yourself as a victim, right?
Not necessarily. Like, I did consent to have sex with him, and I did go through with having sex without a condom. But
and you consented to that, just
without a condom, yes. But prior, I told him I don't want children out of wedlock. No.
Yeah, but you still did it. You still did it. You still fucking did it. Oh man.
Sure.
I wanted him to use a condom at first,
right.
but in that moment, it just didn't happen. But you don't just go and nut in someone like without their permission. Like, imagine
this guy's a gambler. He's just playing Russian roulette.
Imagine having sex with someone. Imagine having sex with someone. They just punch you in the face, and then they say, "Oh, sorry." Yeah, and then they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to BDSM." At that point, it's assault because he didn't talk about that prior.
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah, so he talked about it prior.
You talked about prior.
Yes, and you'd think he would get. Yeah, I probably should knock this girl up.
I'll get to that in a little bit here, but at the 1:17.
It's not a good example. And a good example actually would have been like if you were fucking her and you had a condom on and then you took the condom off. That would, she already expressed her wishes not to get pregnant, not wanting to have kids out of wedlock. She showed all that, it was, and everything, blah, 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 blah. And then in the middle of it, you took your condom off and you continued to fuck her. That actually would be a crime. That would be a crime. Absolutely, that'd be a crime. But guess what? That's not what happened. You started to have sex. You felt he didn't put on a condom at all. You continued to have sex, even though you could feel that he was not wearing a condom, and you continued to allow it to happen. That is effectively consent. It's different scenario completely.
50 mark. You said, "Don't let a man take advantage of you." I think that's what you did. You said, "Don't let a man take advantage of you." Do you feel that Fresh took advantage of you?
Yes.
I'm just curious how.
Because he wasn't really planning a future with me, but he told me he was. So that got me fooled. So I decided to have a kid with this person. So
he's a good talker.
Yeah.
He would just say stuff to you guys.
And he made me feel like he was serious. I'm telling you, I have a lot of dating like experience, but this man, he's very good. He was like, even like before a week he broke up with me, he was like, oh, I'm planning a long term. I'm gonna get out of the house. What if you get pregnant?
Okay. So you feel like he was like leading you on?
Yeah, I am okay. Just like anybody, just tell me like I don't want a relationship. I don't want kids. Even though before him I was single for a while. I was okay.
Wait, one question. So you said you guys were in love, right?
Yes.
How soon after meeting him did you say I love you?
That's before I went back to China.
So how long would you say you had been dating for?
Like 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Yeah, and that's after I met his mother.
It takes me like 3 years to say that.
Quick, it's because he said
his mother.
Yeah,
he
met months.
Yeah, multiple times. He took me to his country, Barbados, to his mother and his entire family. So like I don't know what that means. I've never seen
What were you looking for out of him? Like if he stepped up like financially and he told you, I don't want the baby, but I will take care of you. I'll take care of the baby financial needs. Would that have changed the outcome of your abortion?
Yeah, definitely.
So
like if the father is there and the father is a good guy and he provides.
Yeah, so you want someone to provide.
Not financially, not necessarily just financially. I mean financially and physically and like emotionally to the kid.
Yeah,
because the kid deserves both parenthood. Because I didn't have it when I was young. My mom left me when I was 10.
Yeah.
So.
But my question is that if he told you, I don't want to be part of the baby's life, but I will take care of you guys financially, you and the baby, and
that's okay. No.
Okay. Couple more things. So I guess I'm just curious, like, so why try to expose him? Like, does it seem like you're trying to paint him, like, I don't know, as a hypocrite or deadbeat or not a Christian man because he wanted an abortion? But it seems very clear that, at least from kind of the conversation we've had and from some of the stuff that's, been talked about on the internet, like, it seems like you had no intention of actually keeping the baby. Is that fair to say?
I had intention when I called him.
Okay.
And even though.
Yeah. And then 2 days after, April 5th, you aborted the baby. And then you continued acting on like you had the baby.
When things happened, I still wasn't like sure. I was like going back and forth, thinking what to do.
You're on the fence.
Only like I think actually I went to the parenthood twice. First time when I tried to get rid of it, I didn't. I left. I was crying. I didn't.
Okay.
And I did it. I went back the second time.
But so
Can I ask just briefly?
Yeah.
I was just curious if I get some clarification. Have you ever taken Plan D or any contraception of any kind before?
No, we don't have this thing. Like we have like an emergency pill. If someone like
in China?
Yeah. But we don't have birth control like that.
Have you ever taken an emergency pill before?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, before all this.
Not with Walter. Yeah, but
No, I know, but in China you've taken it before.
Yes, I did.
Okay, hold on. So we got something here. I found the video she was talking about. Wasn't the last video she did, which she claimed she was, but I'm going to bring this up. This is what she apparently has to say about this. Okay.
She's being. I'm not gonna be able to keep. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be able to keep the baby. I know there's a lot of boys been talking about.
All right, so this was 10 days ago. She's claiming she was not able to keep the baby. She's not able to keep the baby. She's not saying she's going to get an abortion and everything, but she's saying, I can't keep the baby.
She's been baby trapping. She's planning the whole story. There's no reason if I want to baby trap him, why would I decide not to keep the baby? Because I actually plan.
The reason is that you were trying to expose him. And you know what? James Sexton called this, actually. He says, they say, they go in, they say that you're pregnant, and then, to keep, and then later on they say, oh, I lost the baby or some shit like that. And it's kind of what she's claiming. She's not really saying she's going to have an abortion. She's saying, I'm not going to be able to keep the baby. I decided not to keep the baby.
Plan the baby with him. Do you guys understand? I've been taking a lot of supplements since January. Okay.
Okay. It's interesting how that cut it off so quickly. Now let's look at some of the comments. Expose me. All knew that. Even your YouTubers like, I'm pretty support that sport you're exposing. You just give up. Daisy exposed. Give up the ruse. Realizing you were trying to scam fresh out of all this. Congratulations on giving FNF exactly what I want. But no one, really, no one's believing her. No one's believing her. Like, there's one person. Here you go. Miss Slave. Okay. Okay, here's some one person. Like really, let's be honest. The majority of people aren't fucking believing this broad. All right? They shouldn't. They should not be believing her at all. So there you go. She did, in fact, say she got an abortion or she was getting one 10 days ago. I don't believe you, Daisy. I don't believe you. I think you got the abortion April 5th because that's what the evidence shows. What evidence do you have besides you saying that you're not going to keep the baby? Okay, what evidence do you have? You haven't provided any evidence for me, Daisy. I still think you got the abortion April 5th and you've been lying out of your ass this entire time.
Yeah. How does that one work? You have to wait till you're pregnant and then you take it?
You take it like the morning after.
I can take within 48 hours.
Wait, so Andrew, I think when it comes to the plan with the Plan B pill, it's possible that you can take that pill prior to conception.
Sure. So that's what I'm asking about the specific pill she's talking about. I'm just wondering,
right.
do you have to conceive, or how does that pill in China, the emergency pill, work?
So after the intimacy, you can take it within 72 hours. That's the maximum time.
Okay, and you have taken those pills before, right?
I have,
Plan
yes.
B.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, so when you were trying to, because like it seems your goal is to like expose him, expose him for like being a pro-choicer, being a deadbeat. Is that?
Yes.
But like, so why try to?
It's not really an exposing, because Fresh has admitted already prior to all this that he is a pro-choicer, or at least Myron has. I'm pretty sure Fresh has, but at least Myron has admitted, yes, I am a pro-choice. So you're not really exposing anything.
Expose him for that when, I mean, that's, you opted to get the abortion, so why expose him for essentially?
When I did it, it was just like very emotional, you know, like I was just very, very mad at the time, and I didn't want to get an abortion at the time when I exposed it.
Yeah, she was mad because she didn't get that apartment she was promised. He sold her the dream and stole the rug right underneath her, and she's pissed off about it. Myron was right. He called it. All of this was because of revenge.
I only decided later, because things get really worse, and he never showed up after that. It's like he gave me no choice.
Well, hold on. I mean,
there was plenty of choices. What are you fucking talking about? You could have taken him to court saying, hey, I'm pregnant with your child. Let's do this. You could have done a lot of things before even coming close to trying to expose him.
Plenty of women who are pregnant, but even if the dad's totally out of the picture.
Yeah. In this country, but not in my country. It's not something very common. Men take accountability in China. If they impregnate a woman, they will take responsibility. It's something that's abnormal for me.
But he's an American, right? Or
that's why I didn't like. I didn't know. Like I only got here last year.
Well, you're planning to stay here, right?
Like well, now wait, no, hang on, wait a second. I'm confused. Maybe you can clarify this for me. If you've taken this pill before in China, but you say that the culture in China is that they always take accountability, why take the pill?
Because sometimes you have casual sex and things could happen.
Okay, so this, so when you're having casual sex in China, so when you would have casual sex in China from time to time, you would take this pill to prevent yourself from conceiving. Okay, I just want to get clarification on this.
So, So I mean, it just seems like, so the efforts to expose him and ruin his reputation for precisely the same behavior and conduct that you ultimately did. You wanted to expose him. Here's this Christian man who tried to get me to get an abortion. Here's this guy who he seems like he's going to be a deadbeat, but you got an abortion. So I'm just like, why expose him for conduct that you're basically his conduct is your conduct?
I told you when I exposed him, I didn't want to do the abortion.
I think he's trying, like, you kind of enabled him to do that to you because there was all these signs like, you know, he's not a good dad. If you watch Fresh and Fit, he's not boyfriend, not husband.
I don't watch Fresh and Fit, and
what?
It's just kind of like you basically just got like
why expose him if you agreed to his terms?
I don't agree to his terms.
But you went through with the abortion. That's what we're saying. That's what he wanted you to do, and you went through with it. So you kind of did agree to his terms.
You didn't have to have the abortion, you know.
Yeah, but people.
Well, but hang on. In her defense, though, right?
You know, it's very interesting. I didn't notice this first time through. She didn't say, I just got the abortion. All she's saying is she's had the abortion. And they're kind of implying it's like you ended up getting the abortion 5 days. You know, well, I don't know if they're trying to like go that, but she didn't say, well, I just got the abortion and it was only due to all the pressure. She's been saying that, but she hasn't reiterated that, which is very interesting to me. You think she'd reiterate. It was like, well, I only did it because of the extreme pressure I was feeling from his followers and all that stuff and them harassing me. That's the only reason I did it. She didn't say that here, which I would think if this was an actual true statement, she'd actually would have said that. Not out of like any need to try and just to tell her, to keep up the story, but more of the unconscious. I just want you to understand that I didn't, it would have been an unconscious thing. It's like, I only did this because of the pressure I felt. And the fact she didn't say that leads me more to believe that she's fucking lying out of her fucking ass.
He deserved, hang on, in your defense, he deserved to be punished for this. I mean, he deserved it, right?
Yes, then what's the point? Like, what the question about here? Like, if you think I did wrong by leaking his message, fine, I accept it. But if you say he didn't do anything wrong, I don't agree with it. Like, I don't see what's the argument here. Like,
I'm not making any accusations at all. I'm just saying, in your defense, if something like that happened to me, and I felt like I was fooled in some way, or I felt kind of like I had been made a fool of, I would be super upset, and I would want to get some revenge on a person. You know what I mean? Like, if that happened to me, that's how I would feel. I would literally feel like I needed to get some kind of revenge on them for making me feel like I was a fool. Does that make sense?
You would?
What's that?
I said you would.
Yeah, I mean, don't you feel like that too?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I guess that's my perspective too, right?
Okay,
like,
I understand what you mean right now.
So,
yeah. Okay, I'll turn it back over.
Yeah. So I mean, like in this situation though, you said that he forced you to get the abortion.
Lies.
I'll know, at least here in the United States, Nick, can you close that? So here in the United States, I mean, Walter and men in general have really zero reproductive rights at all. So as a woman, if you want to abort the child, you can. If you want to keep it, you can. There's nothing a man can do in either scenario to either force you to keep it or force you to get an abortion. Now, it could certainly be the case that the man in a scenario where a woman's pregnant could be a terrible father. I'm not making that accusation towards Fresh, but just to make an argument. Just because a man's would be a deadbeat or, he's causing you stress, that would not to get an abortion.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Coercion for abortion is actually illegal in all 50 states. There's laws against this.
Well, when you say coercion, what do you mean
I mean,
precisely?
intimidating somebody, threatening them online, embarrassing them. You can look all of this up online.
Okay, let me look it up.
Yeah.
Well,
Coercion,
to respond to this, I actually would agree that coercion to make somebody do anything, regardless of what it is, would be a crime in all 50 states, not just abortion, right?
Like if you're a man and you're going to knock someone up, the best bet is to just not tell them to abort it and let them make the decision for themselves instead of telling them, oh, I can't afford it, or oh,
Yeah,
you
sure,
know,
but to my point, if you don't mind responding to my point, coercion for anything would be illegal in all 50 states, correct?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not specific to abortion; it's specific to anything which you utilize coercion, which is why.
Now, I've just Googled this real quick. Okay. I've typed in coercion abortion law. The only thing that's being brought up, she claims it's in all 50 states. Okay. The only thing I see is something in Kansas based on this. So it seems like it's not in all 50 states. It's only in Kansas. See, so make it a bill passed by Kansas lawmakers would make it a crime to coerce someone into an abortion. 50 states. Nothing. I got nothing else.
Coercion is such a specific term. Usually coercion has some type of implicit threat of violence or something like this. I mean, surely neither of you ever felt like you were physically threatened by Walter, right? Like you certainly didn't
By
feel
his
threatened.
partner, yes.
You felt physically threatened by Walter?
Yeah, not Walter, but I believe,
no, not Walter.
I believe Myron represents Walter because he was silent. And Myron was saying that he wishes he's a woman so he can punch me in the face, he can beat me up.
Yeah, but that's a snare. But that says if he's a woman. Myron says like if I were a woman, I'd slap the shit out of you. Okay, but you can't feel intimidated or threatened by someone saying that if they were a different gender, then they would assault you when they're still the same gender. So you're just a fucking idiot.
And all that, like he
Yeah, but
on public
that's
he
not.
said that
But
many
you
times.
just said, hang on. But you just said that you didn't feel any type of coercion from Walter. Like he didn't feel physically threatened from him. Neither of you felt physically threatened from Walter. I mean, I heard the call, and Walter said in the call, he said, "Well, what are you going to do about it?" And he said nothing. He said nothing. I'm not going to do anything about it. That doesn't sound like a threat.
She tried to get that in. She tried. That was the entrapment language. There's like, what are you going to do to me? And he and Fresh was very smart, and Walter was very smart. He said, nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. Why would I do anything to you?
Is he a part of Fresh and Fit?
Well, sure. But if I was a, let's assume for a second that me and Brian were partners on whatever. We're not, but assume that we were. If Brian said bad things about you and I didn't say bad things about you, how would that be me coercing you? I don't understand. That wouldn't be me doing anything to you. So I'm just saying, if you didn't feel actually physically threatened anyway by Walter, either of you,
his company who represent him did.
I'm sorry, say that again. I just want to make sure I heard
his company.
Oh yeah, his company.
Fresh
But
and Fit
his company ever physically threaten you? Or?
Fresh and Fit represents Walter Weeks.
Well, no, wouldn't Walter represent Fresh and Fit?
And his lawyer told him to not say anything.
Shout out James Sexton.
Yeah, and then so he couldn't say anything, so he decided to let Myron to do everything. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, but I mean, you would have to hold Myron responsible for that, right? But Walter himself, did either of you actually? I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. Did either of you ever actually feel threatened in any way, shape, or form physically from Walter?
No,
I don't know.
No.
But neither of you did. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I pulled this up. So I mean, at least the initial definition here from Oxford Dictionary. I just typed this into Google. Coercion: the practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. So is it your guys' position that he coerced either of you in any way?
They have a site, CAFA, the Center of Abortion something, but
CAFA. Okay, I've got Class Action Fairness Act of 2012. Let's make it easy. Abortion. Nothing. Okay, I'll do this. Center of Abortion. I've typed it in CAFA, Center of Abortion. Nothing. There's nothing there. This chick is lying through her teeth. There is nothing there.
there's specific laws on abortion coercion.
The only abortion coercion law I have found is in Kansas. Okay, Kansas. Not all 50 states, Kansas. So you're lying out of your ass, young lady.
Okay.
Yes, they do have specific laws on that.
Okay. There's laws?
Yes.
What,
can
I Google them?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would it be called? What should I
It's like
Google?
the Center, CAFA, something like that.
CFA Institute?
Just look at abortion coercion. The link should pop up.
Okay. So it's a criminal law? Abortion, coercion.
I'm not too sure about the details on it.
And coercion has to involve like...
So then why, if you're not too sure about the details, why are you bringing it up when you don't really know what it's talking about? Because I'm looking it up. I put CAFA. I've typed Center of Abortion. None of that about coercion has been brought up.
Like a threat? Or it could just, like, for example, would me like pressuring you to get an abortion, would that be coercion?
Yes, that's coercion.
Like if I was like, babe, I'm not ready for a child, please get an abortion, would that be coercion?
I mean, I don't know specifically, but
no, in your view of whatever the term coercion is, if we were dating, I got pregnant, I didn't want to have a kid, and I was like, babe, I'm not ready to have a kid, can't have a kid, don't want the kid, please get an abortion. Is that coercion?
I would consider that coercion.
Really?
Yeah.
What about if somebody, if a guy begged for sex that way? Would that be coercion?
I mean, that's a really weird thing to compare that.
I don't know. I mean, I heard tales from women like that when I was in high school and in college age women all the time. Is that coercion from your worldview? If they just beg you to do something a bunch?
I guess that would depend on who you ask. Me personally,
Well, I'm asking you. Yeah.
I mean, no, I would still say no.
Hold on. Well,
No. Okay.
Let me even use a different example. If, let's say I just asked you, I just said, hey, listen, I'm not ready to have a kid. Would you consider getting an abortion? Is that coercion?
I'm going to try and skip this because it's a back and forth, a bunch of random scenarios that doesn't really, that has anything to do with anything. It was a bunch of bullshit scenarios that didn't really move anything forward. And she was just saying that if you basically, if you made what her overall point was, if you made the statement, I want you to have an abortion, she considers that coercion. So that's all you have to know. And I've typed in CAFA, this whole Center of Abortion Coercion. I've typed all that in. Ain't nothing on there. The only thing about coercion for when it comes to abortion is Kansas. Okay, and guess what? Daisy isn't in Kansas. Daisy isn't in was in Florida. Daisy was in New York at the time. So I'll type that in. Actually, I'll type in New York coercion law.
Blunt out with a crucifix over on the right side of the table from my perspective. What did you say your name was?
No, Noel.
Noel. Okay. Yeah, Noel. You're a Christian, correct?
Yeah, I was raised Mormon, but I'm just Christian.
Okay. From your worldview, is abortion murder?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So by that logic, then is the gal sitting next to you a murderer?
I honestly, I don't want to share my opinion on that because
see, look at that. It's always that. It's like, yeah, I believe abortion is murder, but I'm not going to share my opinion that this person is a murderer.
It really doesn't matter to me.
Well, if abortion is murder,
Yeah, baby, don't worry. You can say that.
is the gal sitting next to you a murderer?
And there's a reason why, right? And we
Yeah,
both
I
know
just would like your answer if you don't mind. If you believe abortion is murder, is the gal sitting next to you a murderer?
I think she murdered a fetus. That's what I think. But
And a fetus is a fetus equivalent to a baby to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So then she murdered a baby.
Yeah, but that's her decision, and I'm not going to judge her for it. I'm not going to judge her.
It sounds like you're a shitty Christian.
I understand. I usually don't judge people who murder babies either.
I mean, I'm not going to really respond to that.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'll turn it back over to Brian, but I did want to get that clarified because I just want to make sure that I get the worldviews down and that you are assisting right this second with a person who you believe murders babies. I just want to make sure I got that clear.
Well, I think everyone's missing the entire principle of the whole thing, and that's fresh.
They
And
know.
he lied and deceived. Okay, and he's also a massive hypocrite. They use their platform to urge men to step up as fathers or to be high value men, and then they go and do.
I don't think they've actually said that. They haven't said step up as they have said they need fathers in the households. I don't think they've said anything about stepping up as fathers and shit like that. But guess they've also actually I guess technically they have talked about stepping up as fathers, but they haven't said anything about if you're not ready for a kid, trying to convince the woman you impregnated to get an abortion. They haven't said anything against that. They actually said they're pro-choice. So I would assume that means they're pro that. They are for that. Okay? So that's what I would assume, that they're for women getting an abortion. So I would say they were for trying to convince a woman to get an abortion if they had a kid, if you impregnated her by accident. So you're actually incorrect again, per usual. Now, if she decides to keep the kid and you noted her, then that would follow that yes, you would step up as a father in that instance. But I don't think they've said anything against not trying to convince a girl to get an abortion if you accidentally got her pregnant.
Do the exact
Is it
opposite.
hypocritical to support murderers when you're against abortion? Is it hypocritical for you to do that as you point out other people's hypocrisy?
Well, God tells us to love thy neighbor. So.
Oh well, then you should love fresh, right?
I never said I hated him. I'm just calling him out for bad behavior.
Well, but why? It's interesting to me that you would assist the woman next to you who has the same bad behavior that you're accusing Fresh of, as you accuse Fresh of being a hypocrite. Would that not also make you a hypocrite? As you call him a murderer,
No, it
would you
wouldn't.
not have to call the person next to you a murderer as well? Let her answer. Let her answer.
I have a neutral stance on this. I don't think Daisy.
See, like I love this. Andrew's just pointing out the flaw of her argument. She's like, well, Fresh is bad. He's hypocritical, but she said in her phone call that it's against her religion to kill the baby, and she still killed the baby. Okay, she still murdered the baby.
He's in the right. I don't think Fresh is in the right. But I have my own side that happens with Fresh, and that's all I care about. Their details, that's their business. She can speak on what she wants to speak on, but I'm not going to speak on her situation. I'll only speak on mine.
Okay.
And I just looked it up, by the way. There is no coercion law in New York when it comes to abortion. So kind of shit out there. Let's check out Florida.
Got it. I just want to make sure I have that clear.
I have a few more notes here.
No law
I
in
will just
Florida
for the rest
either.
of the panel. I'll open it up to you guys here soon. We just have a lot of notes here with Daisy. So at least for Daisy, just to conclude, I don't know if I'm old school, but in my book, you never leak anything to do with family, friends, or somebody you're dating. I think that's always private, even if a relationship or somebody you're dating, maybe it doesn't even end the best. I don't think you put them on blast publicly. I think that's my primary gripe here. And it is dating related because, I mean, should you go public? Should you leak stuff? I do think, Daisy, I do think you escalated things here. I've been following this thing. I'm not saying Fresh is perfect, okay? But I do think this was an unnecessary escalation. I do think you're in the wrong in multiple ways here. And in life, people are gonna mess up.
I would actually argue, okay, and I'm not for abortion, okay, not for it. Very pro-life, not for abortion. So let me make my biases clear. But I would think Daisy is far more in the wrong than Fresh, because all Fresh did was make an ask. All she really did was like, I don't want a kid. You should get an abortion. I'd like you to get an abortion. That's all he really did. All right. I mean, obviously, he nutted in the chick. He's an idiot. All right. Now, is he wrong for asking for the abortion? Absolutely. I think he's wrong for that. I absolutely believe he's wrong for that. Fresh is not going to give a shit what I think, but I think he's wrong for that. But Daisy is far more wrong because, one, she could have kept all this private and not said shit. Okay. None of this. She could have not said anything, kept it quiet. Not only that, she leaked the messages that caused all of this to go down. Okay. And let's just let's ignore the intelligence of us or the logical side of the evidence we have seen. All right. That I've shown you. Let's ignore that. And let's just believe her story. Okay. That she leaked it. Then after she leaked it, it was addressed and they said, hey, you're fucking lying. You're a bullshitter. We're going to file charges against you. So then she went and did a tour around the podcasts that hate Fresh and Fit, went on a tour with them all. Okay. Then they finally responded and made the allegations, quote, using her term. I'll say allegations. I haven't proved it beyond. I think they have actually. Whatever. What she claims is the allegations. They've come back after you started making your tour on ABBA and preaching all of them. Then you went on there again, continuing to try and expose and get clout and ruin Fresh's name. They again responded and brought the allegations with the evidence they have against you. You are being targeted and harassed because of it, as you claim, because of your poor decisions. Then you go on Trio Logic and try to expose more. They again continue to attack you, or go back at you, and then Trio Logic finds out you're the ruse has been brought up or has been taken and been like, hey, turns out you've had the abortion already, and all that. So, boom, all of that has happened. Okay. All that has happened. And actually, I have something else I want to look up, and I'll wait till it is. But so all this happened, and then you have felt forced to get an abortion because of all the pressure you have felt by everyone. So you've done this. Now, all of that leads back to the fact that you leaked the goddamn text messages first. So ultimately, it's your own fucking fault. So in my opinion, Daisy, even if we're going off of her words, even we're going off of that, she's the one who's in the most wrong. Okay, she's the one who's lying. She's the one, not lying, sorry, but she's the one who's in more wrong than Fresh is. Again, Fresh, bad person, shouldn't have asked for abortion. Take your lickings, be responsible, and take care of the kid. Okay, you're wrong for asking for the abortion, Fresh. But Daisy started all of this. that ended with the abortion because of her decision making. So Daisy is far worse. Now, I got something to look up, so I'm going to let this video play for a bit. Maybe I'll throw some commentary because the video we saw about her saying she's not going to be able to keep a baby was 10 days ago. I got something I need to look up first.
Again, I'm not saying Fresh. Walter, what he did was perfect. I don't know all the details. I don't necessarily think it means you have to go public, though. And I think it made the whole situation bad for you, made bad for them. And I do, I don't know all the details of your guys' private relationship. I do think, though, that leaking the private calls, recording it, all premeditated. In my view, I think what you did is worse than what he did.
Okay. Can I say something?
I have one question for you first, though.
Can I say something?
Will you buy me a $30,000 purse? That's my final question to you.
Would I buy you?
Yes.
If I love you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, go ahead with your point then.
My point is, if I didn't leak the message, he would have never taken any punishment from this situation. And
no, he actually would have taken punishment. All right, because guess what? You would presumably have kept the kid and would have and you would have ended up having to, and he would have to have paid child support to you. So no, he would have still taken punishment due to the court laws and you being able to file child support against it. So you're wrong. He would have taken a punishment. Sorry.
I would be the only one who gets punished. So
punished? What do you mean, like
punished by making me into the situation that I would be the only one that's suffering from the whole process, like getting pregnant, be a single mother without the father, without.
Well, you would have opted for the abortion even if you hadn't gone public, right?
Sorry?
Like you would have, even if let's say you didn't go public, you kept everything private. I mean, you would have still gone the abortion. You would have kept it.
I just didn't know my decision.
You weren't
but
sure.
When I told him, I was sure I wanted the baby. When I just find out I'm pregnant, I was really surprised and I was really happy. Yeah. So my point is, if I die, he died with me.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, if leaking the message is going to make my situation bad, okay, then let it be, because then he needs to get his punishment anyway. That's how I felt.
Okay, so I'm still a little confused. So he broke up with you.
Yeah.
You're upset by that, but it doesn't sound like. I mean, you're not.
You can say it's fine. I'm not perfect. I never said that.
No, but I mean, like you don't take issue with him breaking up with you, correct?
Yes.
Like that's not the issue, really.
It's not the issue why I leaked the message. That wouldn't be. I would never leak the message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, I don't know. I'm old school. I never.
That's okay. I mean, that's okay. A lot of people don't understand why I did that. Like I'm also like.
Because you're a fucking liar. That's why you did it. You wanted to like try and get some money, and so you're trying to expose him to get some clout and everything, and then it backfired on you. Basically, that's all that happens. Is it backfired on you?
Is what it is. I did it already, and I'm taking the punishment, and I'm getting harassment.
What is it like? There's a quote or a saying that goes something like, "If you seek revenge, dig 2 graves."
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, I guess you kind of got revenge on him. Although, actually, I have a thought on this. It seems like a lot of negative attention came your way too. I mean, you probably got nasty messages.
I would say far more negative attention, especially after she ended up getting the abortion, has gone towards her than has gone towards Fresh and them. So.
Yeah. Probably. I assume it's been super stressful, more stressful than it would have been had you not leaked it. But I actually think the other thing is.
And hang on,
wait.
Just to cut in, almost done. Noelle, finish this for me. Revenge is mine, so saith.
Honestly, I can't. I don't memorize every single verse. I'm not perfect.
So.
Vengeance is mine, so saith the Lord.
I can
right?
All
right.
But so if your mission was to get revenge on him, now that it's clear, like perhaps if you had continued with pregnancy, that would have been a stronger position. But
no, that's not.
Well,
that's just entertaining people by.
But you actually realize that this whole thing was probably the most viral, that like they got so much attention from this that it's actually probably to some degree actually been very beneficial for their business. People have been, tuning in,
Did you
continuing
get
to
a lot
tune
of like attention when it was going on? Did you benefit from the attention at all?
No, not
at all.
I mean, look,
everybody else did.
At least for me, I don't know how they view it. I actually, me personally, even if getting negative, like being involved in some drama gets me more viewers, I actually dislike that. Like I'd rather not get like negative attention, and if that means I don't get as many viewers from it, I'm fine because I personally don't like beefs and like drama and stuff.
Me either.
But so I don't know for them if they feel the same. I don't know for them though if they feel the same way with negative attention. Some people like negative attention because it comes with. There will be people who, I've never heard of this podcast. Okay, I'm gonna go subscribe, and now they've got new fans. This has definitely like been a huge windfall for them in terms of audience, attention, etc. So you've almost done them this sort of like perhaps. Accidental.
But that's okay. They're not going to be successful. You know why? Because they're only going to be attract people that's whose similar behavior as them.
But like you almost gave it, like
those people are not going to be successful because.
Well, I think they're doing pretty well, aren't they? I don't know all the details, but you get. But like, okay, if their goal is like we want as much attention on our podcast as possible, because the whole narrative of like, hey, Fresh, he's this, that whole narrative is gone now that you got the abortion. Like the whole thing of like it being an own, like he's gonna be on the hook for child support. You're gonna like take him the task and the family court system. That's gone. You got the abortion. So they got all that attention. So I mean, just from the argument of like you're trying to take them down.
What I was thinking, it doesn't seem to be accurate. So I was wrong. Or it wasn't what I was actually thinking. So we're just going to continue on.
And this has brought so much attention to them. Whilst a lot of it negative, it's also been beneficial in the sense of you just boosted their viewer count way up there.
How did I know? I didn't know that.
I mean, all this shit went super viral. So anyways, I do need a $30,000 purse.
I
waited home.
Just very briefly, follow on that. I just was wondering, what does Buddhism say about revenge?
It's not good.
No, it's not good. Is it? Does it say that you should avoid revenge at all costs?
I wish I could, but I couldn't. It was too much for me. Like
yes, you could have. You chose not to.
As I said, I've never done anything like that. It was just out of my league. Like I couldn't control my behavior. And
but adhering to Buddhism, you have to say that Buddhism, especially, is against revenge in all forms, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What about Fresh? Do you have any critiques for his behavior?
No, let us assume for a second that I called this man directly and given him my critiques of his behavior. But regardless of that, why would that somehow mean that I couldn't have any critiques of your guys's?
Well, we can accept critiques, but what about Fresh?
Sure. What about him? Why would you make a whataboutism? Right now, we're just talking specifically about your purview, how you are viewing the situation, and why you view it that way.
So now we're
always easy. It's always easy to make an office. Hang on, I'm almost done. I'll turn the floor over. It's always easy to make an office station and say, what about this person? What about that person? What about this person? But that's really kind of a deflection. Right now, we're just talking about everything from your perspective. And I don't think I've been overly critical here at all. I just asked you some very, very basic questions about your worldview. Is that not true?
No, that's true. But we would also like to hear about critiques on Fresh. Like, is anybody going to address
I got something.
Yeah, okay.
I got something. By the way, I don't got beef. I really don't. At least for my thing, don't have beef with these guys. My critique would be, you probably shouldn't be blasting girls if they're not on birth control.
I agree.
I mean, it feels good, but you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
Especially if you like.
I know you're just trying to be nice.
Walter, there's plenty of girls in Miami on birth control, buddy.
Like he's stupid for that. I'm sorry, but he is. Like be
Well,
more
sure,
responsible.
yes.
You're just being so
but
nice.
hang on.
He's a gambling man. Walter's a gambling man.
Hang on. Can we internalize that critique, though, Noel?
Yes,
Be
I
more responsible
could be more
on whose end? Just his, or
Oh.
also on who else's?
That I could be more responsible on my end. I have no problem
Yeah.
admitting that.
Yeah, so I mean,
This is my first time
saying that it's irresponsible for Fresh to come in, fine. But you also, unfortunately, you are guilty of the same criticism, right? Which is that you are the receiver and allow yourself to receive a man's seed. You're just as responsible as the man for giving it. So I don't understand the criticism exactly.
Well, it's not exactly in a woman's control for a dude to blast in them. And I think we all
Is
know
it
that.
within a woman's control to let him stick his penis in her without a condom on?
Yes, that is.
And what would the general resulting thing of that be if a man is having sex with a woman with no condom on? Generally, this would result in what?
If I got pregnant, I would have kept it. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I
But what would
take
that result in, though? If you allow a man to have sex with you without a condom on, you're not on any birth control. What does that usually result in?
It can result in pregnancy, and I know that.
Yeah, sure. So you are just as responsible as the person who you're criticizing for the action. It seems to me that
I would say that you're far more responsible than the person you're criticizing, because you are the gatekeeper to sex. You're the one who says yay or nay. I say you're far more responsible. You can choose who to have sex with. You chose to fly to Miami, meet this guy, and within 10 minutes of meeting him, fucking him. Okay. Yes, you had some conversation prior and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But, and even then, prior to that, you said, I don't want to have a baby out of wedlock, and I'm not on birth control. So you knew all of this. But then the second you meet him and you fuck him, you decide, wait, stop, put a condom on. You didn't think of that. You didn't do that. You didn't say any of that. I would argue you have more responsibility than anything.
this is a kind of a deflection, right? That you're deflecting away from your own personal responsibility in this.
I'm not deflecting. I could admit that I could have been more responsible.
Were you okay with, if you got pregnant, were you okay with having his kid, or would you not?
I would have had his kid. And if you
So you're okay with just having a baby daddy?
No, but if I had been irresponsible enough to get pregnant, then I would have taken responsibility for that.
But it would have been as much your irresponsibility as it would have been
Yes,
his.
I
The
agree.
thing
I
is
agree.
yeah.
Again, I would argue far more responsibility.
And if you can admit that, then I'll give the criticism both ways. Tell this guy you should wrap it up, but also tell you that you should close your legs, right? Like, these are fair criticisms both ways, aren't they?
They are. But
Yeah.
also, it was discussed beforehand that he should not be doing that. And I told him that's something I don't want him doing.
But you still fucked him without a condom.
But you let him do it anyway.
I didn't let him blast it.
Well,
He just did it.
absent him forcing you to, which is not a claim you've made. In fact, you have made sure not to make that claim.
Because
You
he
let
didn't force me down and pin me down. He just did it without, like, it was.
But you knew his dick was going inside of you.
I'll
Did you?
finish.
Okay, so did you tell him at any time, no, you need to go put a condom on before we continue, or not?
No, I took.
And then, keep in mind, she went and had sex with him a second time without a condom.
If I'm
Then no. If the answer is no, then what are you talking about here? You consented to all of that.
not him blasting me.
But did you?
Well, but hang on. Even if he didn't, you still have pre-cum and everything else that you potentially have to deal with. Even if he didn't, you're no fool. I can tell you're no fool. You know that the precondition of accepting a man's penis inside of you who does not have a condom on could inevitably lead to pregnancy. There's no way around that,
If
right?
he's not ejaculating into you, the chances of you getting pregnant are significantly lower than
But
it.
it's still there.
But it's still there. If you're
But it's still there either way. So I mean,
it's still
you
there,
not
but
telling him to go, hey, I'm not going to accept you without a condom on. That's as much on you as it is on him.
Sure,
I don't know
but
how you get around that.
he still shouldn't have just blasted me without telling me.
And you shouldn't have allowed him to
You should have said, hey, I'm not going to have sex with you until you put a condom on.
enter you with no condom
I
on,
agree.
right?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
let's
one
talk about
question.
his
What,
part.
on the whole blasting
Again,
side,
you have far more responsibility than Fresh does. Does Fresh have responsibility? Absolutely. Don't fuck chicks without condoms unless you're going to intend to get them pregnant. All right. But you have far more responsibility because you are the gatekeeper of sex. And, unless he's forcing himself on you, the onus is on you to ensure that the guy's putting on a fucking condom and not blasting inside of you.
side, was there any conversation about that? Like, did you, what's the term? Did you say, like, but I want you to pull out, or?
I literally did not know he was going to do it. He did it, and I was
Both
like,
times? You didn't know both times? Like, he'd already done it once, and then you did it a second time.
It was the first
How do you
time.
reconcile the fact that you allowed him to do it a second time knowing he had done it the first time?
it was the first time that he did it. The first time we had sex, that's when he did it.
No, you said he did it twice
I
earlier.
said
You
he
said
had
it was two
sex.
times.
I said he had sex twice.
So the second time he
No,
wrapped it up,
no,
or?
the second
Wait, Andrew, can you censor up a little bit?
Yeah, the second time did he wrap it up?
No, but he pulled out.
So you still had sex.
Okay,
with him,
but hang
right?
on.
Yes.
So it stands to reason if the first time he blasts inside you and you let him enter you again unprotected, that you have the expectation that he may not pull out, right? That seems reasonable, doesn't it?
Well, I think my reaction was enough for him to not do it the second time.
Okay, maybe. But if you let him
He
enter
didn't
you again without a condom on a second time, you're still running the same exact risk, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good times. Good times. Trying to think. But there was no conversation like even before the first time you weren't like, hey, I'm cool with not using a condom, but maybe you could pull out. Was there anything like that? Or I think you said it was in the heat of the moment.
It wasn't
and just
in the heat
like
of the
bam, 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 pick you up from the airport, get to his house, 10 minutes go by, boom, right at it. There wasn't anything like, how did the condom conversation go? Was there a conversation there?
Prior to me going out there, which I've said this before, I told him I'm not on birth control.
Mhm.
I don't want children out of wedlock, and I
Yeah.
expect you to use protection. And he knew this. And
Okay.
in the heat of
And in the heat of the moment, you didn't stop him and make sure he did it. You dumb broad.
the moment, things happen. We're both human. It just shit happens sometimes.
So there was no actual, in the moment, there wasn't actually like either from you, like, oh, do you have a condom? There was never any actual in the moment, like any conversation on his part, your
No,
part.
because
about
at that point, I knew, and
Okay.
I accepted, this could end in pregnancy,
Right.
and that is why I took a plan B afterwards, because I don't want children out of wedlock.
Is Plan B in your worldview? Is Plan B in your worldview an abortion?
It's contraceptive, just like how a condom prevents sperm from getting to the egg, so does plan B.
Okay, so that you wouldn't consider that to be any type of abortion.
It prevents conception.
Okay.
The abortion pill, however, yes, that is
abortion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if this is like TMI. Can I ask what position were you in when he was
Oh my god!
Because if you're on top, it's like it's a little harder to pull out. Just I don't know. I'm just trying
I was on my back, missionary.
Missionary.
So it's not like I could
Pressure, missionary.
I could just shove him off of me, and I'm not going to because I was attracted to him. You know.
Okay.
Like I don't know what else to say. He was charming. You know, I liked him. I was attracted. He made it seem like he wanted something.
Fair
from me.
enough. So just I have a couple minutes for you. Then I'm going to pass it off
Hey, wanted sex.
on over to Andrew, and then hopefully soon we'll get the whole panel in.
I'll be very brief, I promise, and I'm not going to be mean. I just have a few questions.
Andrew's a sweetheart.
I don't think he's mean. I think I have
He's a
very
sweetheart.
good questions that make people think. And look, I have no problem taking accountability. I'm very aware of my own mistakes.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So 1 minute.
No. See, you are, but you put more accountability on him, and honestly, the accountability rests more on you than him.
We already went over this. You said that you follow the Fresh and Fit podcast a whole bunch. At 3:30 in the video that We Are the Victims video, you said coercion is illegal, and we already had a conversation about coercion. 3:50, you say forced her to get an abortion. I don't know. I think I asked Daisy her view on that. But so, do you view that Walter forced her to get an abortion?
Myron did.
Wait, hold on. Myron forced you?
Yeah.
Myron.
Fresh and fit.
Myron
Fresh and fit.
forced you.
I'll answer this. I'll answer this. I don't think she was physically forced, but coercion is an actual thing. That's why they have laws on it.
So what specifically?
They don't. Only in Kansas City do they do. You fucking dumb bitch. Like I just irritates the shit out of me that like she's such a fucking liar. That there's like if you're gonna say something about this, then you probably should have the site so we can look it up. But I've looked it up twice. I put in all the words that you said to put in. Nothing comes up except Kansas. Kansas has an abortion law when it comes to coercion. But guess what? Doesn't affect the 50 states at all.
Did Myron or Walter do, which is coercion?
So saying that you don't want to have a kid and that you don't have money for it, and then intimidating her online, embarrassing her, accusing her of being an escort, that's all coercion.
That all happened after on April 3rd. And she got the abortion April 5th. I'm still convinced that she had the abortion April 5th. Daisy, you're going to have to provide some proof, like, the same slip of paper you had on April 5th. You're going to have to provide that because election or elective of termination. Wait, what does it say specifically? Hold on. Let me bring it up specifically. So make sure I got it right. Because I like being accurate, Daisy, unlike your lying plastic ass. Let's see. Encounter for an elective termination of blank. Okay. Now, to me, when it comes to pregnancy, if the thing says encounter for elective termination of blank, that tells me abortion, and you're doing this at Planned Parenthood, which is known for abortion. So I don't believe you, Daisy. I think you had an abortion April 5th. I have the evidence to back it up. So again, none of that, you weren't coerced at all. Just saying, I don't want you to have the kid. You should get an abortion. Does not count as coercion. Sorry.
You're intentionally trying to.
So are you saying totality of the circumstances? Because I would like to look
Actually,
at those.
Brian, I could just grant this as being true. Let's just grant for a second that that's true. You would have to give the same criticism the other way for coercion, that she was trying to coerce him to give her something that he did not want to give her by the same logic, wouldn't you?
She provided the text and the receipts where he was pretty much okay with her having a kid, but they were planning.
Yeah, right. But
now those receipts and texts, I don't believe him because why? I would have asked Daisy, why under your texts and receipts do you have fresh instead of Boo Boo Bear? Okay, like that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so you have fresh, you have it under fresh, not Walter. You could put fresh in any of those, and you could have said, you could have had gotten a burner phone, could have texted yourself all this stuff, made an account saying fresh. It doesn't make any sense that fresh would have on his WhatsApp, like if you're claiming it's a WhatsApp or if these are regular texts, why you would have his name under fresh and not Walter. Doesn't make any sense to me. And guess what? You claim, all right, she planned to, she showed the receipts saying that he was okay with her having a kid. They have receipts saying that you agreed to, or that you had an abortion on April 5th. So
I guess the point is that if it is coercion, if it is to say that due to the actions of objecting to the various things that people do, if the other direction is vengeance is being sought, isn't that also in and of itself a form of coercion saying do this or else?
When it's not pertaining to abortion, yes, that is a form of coercion aside from the specific act of an abortion.
Yeah, so I would say that wasn't there coercion both ways then?
Sure, both
by
ways,
your logic.
both ways, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's not okay for men to try and tell women whether they can have a child or not.
I mean, I think in your worldview it is. I think in your worldview it is okay to even tell people that they can't cheat or men will throw them in jail, right? Let alone have an abortion. Don't you think within your worldview it's perfectly acceptable, in fact, for men to tell women whether or not they should be able to have an abortion?
No, I don't agree with that.
Wait, Andrew, do you mean within her worldview, men saying
you're not allowed to?
Yeah, men saying you shouldn't get an abortion.
How do those two correlate?
Well,
I'm just saying that you seem to adhere to kind of the idea that men can pass laws on behalf of what is moral or immoral. The question here becomes, if this is really coercion, if the case here is this was coercive, then you admit that then it had to have been coercive both ways. How the hell do we determine who's right here?
in the case of Daisy's situation, or
yeah, if it's coercive both ways, if it's vengeance for the sake of do this or else, how is that not coercion? I don't understand that.
We don't know that. Let judge decide, right?
I don't think
Yeah, no,
anyone
but I'm asking her directly because I want to hear her opinion.
I don't think anyone is right in this situation. I think he is very wrong to have deceived her and sell her the dream, and I don't think she necessarily should have taken this online.
Yeah, but she did wrong first.
Or
well, is coercion?
No, Daisy, you did wrong first because you knew what type of guy he was. Let's be honest. All right, you knew what type of guy he was. If you're saying that he did wrong first by selling you the dream and then pulling the rug from underneath you and then not buying you the apartment, and actually this is showing exactly what this is all about. This isn't about that he got her pregnant. This is about the fact that he said he was going to buy her an apartment, sold her the dream, and then pulled the rug right underneath for her, and now she lost everything she was hoping for. The whole reason she was here was her hopes to be able to be in America because China sucks or whatever. I'm assuming, and so she's angry about it. You can see it in her facial muscle. She is pissed off every time she thinks he did me wrong first. She is angry that he sold her the dream and then pulled the rug from underneath her. And now she wants her revenge. And this is what Myron has been talking about this entire time. The whole reason this is happening is because Fresh didn't buy her the apartment like he said he would. It's all the reason. I love it. It's wonderful.
First come, first serve, Daisy? Is it who got to the coercion first is the one who's actually wrong? Or is it that two rights don't make a wrong, that even if somebody did coerce you, it's not okay to coerce them back, right?
He was coerced mentally. She was coerced to do something physical that has a detriment on her body.
Well, but hang on. Couldn't coercion the opposite way, reputational slander, things like this, lead to men doing self-harm the same exact way that Daisy claims self-harm was done to her?
I don't really think that. What was he self-harmed into?
Well, the thing is that if you are coercing a person and it affects their mental illness on the other side, couldn't they easily commit the same type of self-harm that you're objecting to, that you're claiming here Daisy was subjected to? Wouldn't that be the same exact entailment of that the coercion led to her doing self-harm? Why would the coercion in the other direction not lead to self-harm as well?
No, they didn't. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it didn't, but it could have, right?
The fact is, it didn't. If you say that, he could also have got her pregnant.
Could have,
right?
But so the thing is like in your case,
Let's just
it
talk
also,
about the fact.
hang on, in your case, it also didn't have to.
Let's look at the facts, Stacey. You got the abortion April 5th before any of this actually fucking happened. So shut the fuck up.
You just did it, but it didn't have to. So if the coercion goes the other direction, then it also didn't have to lead to self-harm, but could have.
He didn't have to, not in both of us.
Right, that's right. It's a diamond of both of you, right?
But he did. Did he put her in a risk that she could be pregnant? Yes. Did he make me pregnant?
Wait,
yes.
did she put herself, also Daisy, at risk of becoming pregnant?
No, she didn't, because
she didn't put herself at risk of becoming pregnant?
I did.
She didn't ask him to come inside her. That's my point.
Yeah, but Daisy, how
why don't you guys
does a man put his penis inside of a vagina for babies to get made, Daisy?
But the men taking control. The men taking control.
No, I think that women have an equal amount of control for whether or not they open the baby.
I would say women have far more control.
Women have equality.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
So now you're talking about women have equality?
No, I'm asking you, if women have equal responsibility for the action of sex.
We don't. Men are the leader. Yeah, we don't. Men are the leader, right? Aren't we?
So wait a second. I just want to make sure I got this right.
We can't take taking control.
So men led you to having sex with them unprotected, and it's their fault. You have no responsibility at all. Is that right?
I don't have responsibility if I wanted the baby. Like, I would take the consequence.
Oh,
well, you didn't really want the baby because you aborted it April 5th.
Have the responsibilities.
I understand. So that's true. Men are leaders. So let me ask you this: should men be able to tell you that you can't have an abortion?
No.
Oh well, I thought they were the leaders 5 seconds ago.
Because you said men are leaders.
Like, you see all the contradictions he's got her on. This is just great.
You did. Those were your words. Men are the leaders, and so therefore, because they're the leaders, we have no way to take responsibility for sex. I just asked you if men should be able to tell you if you can have an abortion. You say no.
Yes, men shouldn't be able to, but he did it anyway.
Men shouldn't be able to do what?
He shouldn't be able to tell me to get an abortion, but he did it
but
anyway.
Can he tell you not to have an abortion? Should he be able to tell you that you're not allowed to?
No, he shouldn't.
No, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. So then men are not the leaders by your own worldview, because you're saying that women have autonomy over pregnancy, therefore they have autonomy in the gatekeepers of sex, and that's that, Daisy.
I think you just don't understand that women cannot control when the man decided to come in.
They can control. They are right. Women can't control when men have sex, come inside them. Okay, it's not really up to them. Although there are signs, and you could stop it. You're paying attention. But guess what? You do have control of whether that dick is entering you and it's not wrapped up. You do have control of that, and ultimately that is on you.
Inside her, we cannot control that.
Can she control her legs opening and closing, Daisy?
That's a different thing. Come inside a woman and open the leg, there are different things. Well, I think you're just playing the words because we understand.
I mean, you're fine with it, right? Like,
I was fine because I wanted the baby.
And he knew that she wanted the baby.
That's my...
Shut up, Madison. You don't know that, okay? All you got is some text messages that are suspect at best.
Wait, that's my whole point. Why are you arguing with this, Andrew? You know he did wrong.
Sex is also just
let me ask you this. whether or not I think he did wrong.
You just don't want to admit that because you're the man. You want to say the red pill
let's
side.
assume that I think he did the wrongest thing on planet Earth. How does that get you off the hook for your responsibility that he did something bad?
It doesn't. I never. I admit that. I take accountability.
Hang on. Am I here talking to him or am I here talking to you? So
Did he take accountability?
Hey, Daisy, I'm almost done, and then I promise I'll give you the floor. If I'm here talking to you, you're the person who I'm talking to, who I'm discussing.
But are we here to talk about both of us?
I'm almost done. You're the person I'm talking to. He's not here. I'm happy to criticize him to his face like I am to you, but it doesn't get you off the hook for any wrongdoing that you have done just because he may have done something wrong.
As I said, I admitted that, but so far he never admitted anything. Why don't you go talk to him?
Yeah, because I'm talking right now to you.
And you're talking about both of our situations.
Yeah,
right?
right now
Why can't you
how you see the situation from your perspective? So this is how how does Daisy view the situation? Not how Fresh views it, but how you view it.
But I'm asking your opinion about.
Well, it seems to me like this was perhaps some form of entrapment, ultimately. I don't really see a way around it. It looks to me like you wanted, as you admitted, some sort of revenge on this guy for the fact that this didn't work out. You came in on a student visa. You committed a felony by recording him and releasing it. And then on top of that, as you guys began to get into this, you said that your entire...
So he has set her up this entire time. And this will probably be the end of the video. But because Andrew's going to go off and just wreck her. There's a lot more on it. I highly recommend you watch it and everything. But I'm just going to... we'll probably end it after Andrew does the mic drop and everything. But he's been building her up this entire time. And, you know, he's not really been pushing back, not really soft. And now she's really going to get, like, he's really unloading her with both barrels. And this is just fantastic.
Our motivation around this was purely revenge related. So Daisy, let me ask you this from my perspective. Should I believe you are credible in any way?
No, you shouldn't.
See? Like, did you get that? Like this entire time, okay, she wants revenge. He hurt her, okay? And she wants revenge. He promised her, okay, the apartment and the life, and he took that away from her, okay? Now she wants revenge. She wants to go after him. He did her wrong. And when you do revenge, you're going to do revenge at all costs, okay? No lines over. It's all revenge. He needs to be punished for what he did to you. So why does that preclude you from lying? Okay, why does that preclude you from faking evidence? Okay, why would that preclude you from anything?
You don't have to, and I don't care if you do or not, because I know what happened, and I provide all the receipt, conversation-wise, record-wise. Anyone who's smart, they would understand. People who are not agree with me because they are the fan of Fresh and Fit.
You mentioned some receipts.
You don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to take accountability for him. And you're not women. You have been through what I've been through, so I'm okay with that.
You haven't been through anything. You fucking lied, and you had the abortion April 5th.
You can just criticize me. It's okay. I don't mind.
We have some receipts.
Here's the thing. She really does mind. You can tell she really does mind because she was very upset. She's been upset the entire time Andrew's been speaking, till Andrew's been talking. This isn't when the blow up is, I think, because eventually he tries to kick him off the show, and everything. But I'll keep playing until that point. But you can tell she really cares.
We got the receipts. Nate, you want to pull the first one? It should be right after the
receipt.
Receipt? No. It should be the first one. Should be like a screenshot, black, white text. All right. Thanks for everyone's support. I'm here to stand out as a woman as a victim in a relationship as a mom. I think we already talked about the victim stuff a little bit. Next one. We'll just go through the receipts real quick just to show them.
See, right here. All right. What is this? Why do you have him in your contacts as Fresh and not Walter? You see how the evidence does, like you say, oh, I provided the receipts. They've provided some receipts too. Okay, the receipts that you're an escort. Okay, receipts that you probably got, that you got your abortion April 5th. You have yet to provide a receipt of when you got your abortion. Okay. So, I mean, compared to your receipts, and again, you're claiming all this is done for revenge. And again, why do you have the contact? You're speaking to this person as Fresh. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, why is his name Fresh under your with your text messages? Doesn't make any sense.
This is you and you posted this your story. This is the pregnancy test. You said you want to keep a baby, you don't want to kill a life.
Dude, you have to get the baby.
Yep. You always told me you want to be. He says he'd call you. He says he can't have kids. Take responsibility. Okay, next. So he said not being a good human for wanting the abort. He wants the abortion. You disagree. You don't want kids right now. Wait, he said I don't want kids right now, and we spoke about it, and you agreed.
No.
That's what he says. I don't know if
we have to review the words when they said and what actually happened. What actually happened is he did it not inside of me every day, and I'm pregnant. 2 weeks that fast, he got me pregnant. If I did agree with him, I would have already taken the pill.
Sure,
why would I get myself in this situation?
Let's see. You want to have a baby. Next. These are some of the.
Okay, these are all just text messages. I'm just gonna skip this because it's really not important. Oh, okay. Here we go. SAFA, Center Against Forced Abortions. Okay. Okay, so they did bring it up. I didn't see anything about this at all. I was just listening when this happened. So there we go.
Make it bigger. Up top, scroll down just a tad. Okay, so hold on, I'm going to scroll up just a bit. There. Forcing a woman to have an abortion, including minor, is illegal in all 50 states of the United States of America. Any individual who attempts to use force or coercion could be subject to criminal or civil liability, including child abuse, fetal homicide, domestic partner violence. They don't really give a definition there. Let me just make sure I'm on the same page.
Can you scroll down?
There's not really. Oh yeah, scroll down, Nick. We'll just read the prompt. Women who first learn or suspect they're pregnant may feel pressure to an abortion, including from the parent, baby's father, school counsel, blah, blah. This is illegal. So it's illegal to feel pressured or to be pressured to have an abortion.
So basically,
no. Here's something that they missed. Okay, here's something they missed. Hold on. Here's something they missed. I want you to read that right here. Disclaimer. This is intended as general legal information and education, not specific legal advice. Individual situations, state laws may vary. Contact a local attorney of your choosing for specific legal advice. Forcing a woman to have an abortion, including a minor, is illegal in all 50 states. This is forced abortion. This doesn't say anything about coercion. Okay, so any individual who attempts to use force or coercion could be subject to criminal and civil liabilities, including child abuse, fetal homicide, domestic partner violence, etc. Okay, what's the specific statute? Because I looked it up. I looked up I looked up forced abortions. I didn't see anything. Let me try that instead. You can ask. You can't. You can even tell her, "Hey, get an abortion," and they can ignore you. And again, I'm looking up forced abortion U.S. laws. There's nothing really coming up. There's abortion law by state, but there's nothing against forced abortions. Now, of course, forced abortions, I think when you're saying forced abortion, I think what you're actually thinking of is like an actual forcing them to get an abortion. That may be illegal. I don't think coercion is illegal, but I guess maybe coercion can be illegal, but asking someone or telling someone to get an abortion isn't coercion. Sorry, you moron. Well, sure. Sorry, I forgot I exited out of this.
Towards one thing, you would assume that would apply to the other thing as well, because coercion is coercion.
We're not talking hypotheticals. We're talking about coercion with abortion.
Yeah, right. I understand. But if coercion is coercion, then Ryan's point of asking you, it's just like I did earlier, somebody did the exact same thing begging for sex. You said it's not coercion. I don't really understand where we delineate between where coercion for abortion isn't like coercion for basically just anything.
Well, because we're not talking about anything. We're talking about abortion.
So wait, okay. Well, let me ask again then. Would it be coercive and would it be coercion if you're dating a girl to tell her, say she gets pregnant and you don't want to have the kid as a guy, and you say, babe, I'm not ready for the kid. Say it's like a young couple, they're both 19 years old. She gets pregnant accidentally. I don't know, whatever the scenario. She gets pregnant. He doesn't want to keep the kid. She's on the fence. Would it be coercion for him to say, babe, please get an abortion?
The best thing would be just not say anything at all.
Men can't say anything at all?
They shouldn't tell her, oh, abort it. They should just tell you, I will support whatever decision.
So in a relationship.
See, look at this insanity. I will support whatever. No, fuck you. Like, what is this? I will support. No, I can tell her to get an abortion. I wouldn't, but I could. And I can ask. I can absolutely do that. Well, pressure. She like this dumb blonde here thinks that just by asking, that's pressure. No, it's not. Okay. Pressure is something that would require you to do it continuously. Okay. It would have to be a continuous. All Fresh did ask one time, hey, get an abortion. She said no. That's not coercion, you dumb broad. I don't want to listen to this again. So we're going to skip it and go to this.
Wait, Andrew, can you center up? To Daisy. I just wanted to dive into a couple of quick questions before I turn back over to Brian. I was just wondering this. Can you actually prove in any way, shape, or form that this was Walter's child to begin with?
Yes, I can if I go to court.
You can't prove it.
How? How can you only prove it if you're in court? Because you're under oath and we got to trust that you wouldn't lie?
Any way at all?
I can't prove it's his child. I can. First of all, he did not deny it's his baby because he know on the.
He didn't deny it. He accepted it was a possibility. Okay, but we don't have proof that it's his child.
Record. I don't have any medical proof to prove that he's his child, but there is a law that during this time I was with him in his bedroom, sleeping under his roof.
There is a law. He does.
From the time
I think she plastic surgery some brain cells as well.
When I met him,
let's just go ahead and assume. I mean,
I have proof.
I don't know why we should. Why should we actually assume this was his child? Or
just for the sake of the
then
conversation.
why didn't he stand up and say it's not his child in the beginning? Why didn't he just do a DNA test?
Well, I mean, didn't you?
Why did he deny everything? I asked
do
many
an
times
abortion
on
before DNA
public.
test to be done.
I asked him many times to do a DNA test because he knows it's his child.
How far long before you can do a DNA test?
I don't know, 6-8 weeks.
I thought it was really far along in the pregnancy.
Yeah, it's way further along than 8 weeks. You've aborted the child. How could we ever make the determination with Walters to begin with?
Well, that's what the judge decides, right?
Oh.
After all this we see, I have proof.
If that was the only guy she was sleeping with, then who else would it be?
No.
Well,
he's trying to say that I don't have proof. I don't have proof.
That's assuming she's telling the truth. She just assumed that Daisy's telling the truth. Why should we believe anything she says?
Assume that either. Why should we actually make any assumptions absent proof or evidence? Why should we assume that?
I mean, she was dating him. Like, she moved out there for him. Who else was she going to be sleeping with?
Well, I mean, the thing is absent proof or evidence. Why should we just assume that this was
Then why
Walter's
he didn't
child?
prove that it's not his baby?
Well, the burden of proof would be on you, not on me.
Ask him. Why didn't he?
Okay, let's see. So DNA tests can be. Let's see. Hold on. Actually, let's do this better. Paternity test. So let's see. You can do a paternity test. Okay, you can do non-invasive prenatal tests can be done from week 7 of pregnancy through the first trimester. During this test, DNA is collected from the mother by a blood draw and from the father with the cheek swabs. Samples are analyzed to compare the babies and possible father's DNA. Generally, results are available after 1 week. So, roughly 7 weeks. Now, her claim is she aborted, I guess, 6 weeks, I guess. So she aborted before she could do a paternity test. Seems awfully convenient.
He stand up and say it's not my child? Why didn't he deny on the phone? Why didn't he deny anything? Why did he keep quiet?
Okay, so it could. He's admitting it could have been. I'll admit it could have been, but we don't actually have any proof that it was.
You're saying that because I aborted the kid, and I asked him
so
many
now there's no
times.
evidence, right? So how can we ever make the determination whose kid it was?
That's not my decision. That's
the spoliation of
Judge
evidence.
would know that I got pregnant during the time I stayed in his house. Let's let judge decide.
Wait, Andrew, do you have more questions?
Like, the judge can't decide that it's his kid. He has no proof. Like, see, this is how dumb she is. Just because a judge like nothing a judge can decide can prove that it's that it was Walter's kid, Fresh's kid. Because what he would require is you to continue to be pregnant and be able to prove that. But you've aborted the kid. You've effectively destroyed any evidence showing that that's a kid. And there's no way a judge can prove that. Just because you can claim, he's the only one I slept with, that's not proof that that's his kid. Because how many women have said that, and it turns out, it's a fucking lie.
Otherwise, I can just.
I just have one quick follow up, and then I'll turn it right back over.
Perfect.
Last thing is, I just want to make sure when you got your pregnancy test, I just want to be clear. How far along were you when you got your pregnancy test?
All I know is when I saw him on March 9th, I just finished my period. I just finished my period on March 9th.
That's not the answer to the
and
question
then
he asked.
When I left Miami, it was March 26th.
And did you have an actual ultrasound, or did you have just like a ped on it thing?
I had blood test both and the pregnancy test, blood test. Then I went ahead on April 5th. I got an ultrasound. So
you did have an ultrasound?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and have you released the ultrasound?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that you had an ultrasound for that, and that so it was past 8 weeks. Just want to make sure.
No, it wasn't.
6 to 8 weeks, so you can get a fetal ultrasound. Now she claims April 5th, but I don't remember seeing on that paperwork anything about an ultrasound. All it said was elective termination of blank.
8 weeks.
It wasn't 8 weeks for the ultrasound. How long was it for the ultrasound?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
If you had to guess, how long was it?
Just do a calculation from March of 9 till April 1st. April 5th.
So
that's the day I got 2 ultrasound.
So like 4 weeks roughly, or just under 5 weeks, or
hold on. Let me do it. All right. Let me do it. So March. What'd you say?
Something like that.
Yeah. So 4 or 5 weeks. I'm just doing
4 and 5 weeks. So April 5th. Hold on. Let's do this. So April 5th. That's 1 week. It's 2 weeks. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So 4 weeks. Yeah, she's fucking lying, people. Because you can get an ultrasound, the first ultrasound, known as a fetal ultrasound or sonogram, as early as 6 to 8 weeks. Wow. So she's lying about getting an ultrasound. Shocking.
Doing a little bit of basic research, and it looks to me, now I could be totally wrong on this, just wanted to speak to it, that usually ultrasounds are done until the 6-week marker.
Yeah, so I did both times. First time ultrasound, there was like very, very little doubt, and the doctor said it's not clear to see. And then on March 15th, I got another ultrasound.
Okay, so you got 2 of them done.
I don't remember 2 or 3. I have to look on my phone.
Okay. I just want to make sure I got.
Okay, hold on. She said March 15th she got an ultrasound. That doesn't make any sense because that would have been only like a week after.
I just want to make sure I'm clear on it. That's all. I appreciate it.
So this is what we're going to do. I have a few more questions. I want to try, if possible, to just get through all of them as quick as I can, and then I'll pass to Andrew if you have anything, and then we'll just move on to the regular show, because we have been, just to be considerate of the other panelists here, we've been talking about this most of the show.
Again, this is why I said this should have been just a 2v2 situation. They should have canceled his regular show and just done a 2v2 situation. That would have been far better.
Noel, going back to you, you said that at the 15-minute mark of that We Are the Victims video, you said something along the lines of, you're leaking private information about Myron, about his condom usage, plan B usage. That came, I don't know, do you have something against Myron too? Or?
I don't have anything against either of them. I just think they're both hypocrites, and that's not really private information. But that
What
stuff
is?
has been already
What are they hypocritical about?
been online. He has like a drawer full of plan Bs in one of his little condo or whatever.
I was just gonna, I don't know, I feel like it's always, again, I feel like I'm old school. I don't ever leak anything private when it comes to friends, family, and relationships. I was just gonna see if you feel like it's appropriate to, although you're claiming it's already public information.
Yeah, it's already public.
60 minutes, 10 seconds in, you said it's not legal to manipulate someone into an abortion. It's coercion. It's a crime, illegal. We talked about that. Although it's not clear to me, like, for example, the phone call that Walter and Daisy had, and maybe I should wait until Daisy's back to ask this, but is any of the conduct that you heard in that phone call, the leaked phone call between Walter and Daisy, was anything there that he said coercion or manipulative?
Not in that phone call, but
Not in that
stuff
phone call.
online for sure.
The text messages.
Yeah.
Okay. What specifically did he say that you viewed as coercive?
I mean, telling her that he doesn't want to have a kid. That he. I mean,
Okay. And that's-
I don't
and you-
really want to reiterate it.
Right. I mean, I'm not sure.
Saying I don't want to have a kid is coercion. You see how that doesn't make any sense?
Precisely if it actually is a crime, but assuming it is, you
It's
would be
not a
totally fine
crime.
with Walter being prosecuted for saying, I don't want to have a kid. You think that that ought to be criminally prosecuted?
I don't agree with what he did, and I don't really.
Well, just
have
answer the
a
question.
kid.
Do you think it should be criminally prosecuted for a man to say to a woman who's pregnant with his child, for that man to say, I don't want to have this kid?
I mean, coerce. Yeah, I think
No,
so.
answer the question though. Do you think that should be criminally, do you think saying, I don't want to have a kid should open up a man to criminal prosecution?
I honestly, I don't know.
Well, you said it's coercion, right?
That's what the law says. I'm just going off what the law says.
Okay, would you agree?
No, that's not what the law says. Simply saying I don't want to have a kid is not what the law is. Specifically point to the statute, you dumb bitch.
The law. Let's assume it's the law. Do you agree with it?
If it's the law and it could be implemented and it could be go to court and be found guilty for that, then sure.
All right. At the
No, that's not the law. I hate that. It's like, let's say it is law. Okay, show me where the law is.
345 mark, you say, this is why women don't come out, in reference to, I guess, their conduct. You feel like, I don't know. But come out about what?
The wrongdoings that some guys
That
do.
Walter did to you?
No, just
Well, you came out
the
about
stuff
Walter.
about with Daisy, about telling her to abort it, and then about like the stuff with me. Like it's so like that's a very
But
real
come out
thing.
about what? Like you said, this is why women don't come out. You had consensual sex with him. You admit to this. Like, are you trying to me too, Walter, over consensual
I'm not
sex?
trying to me too him. I'm just trying to show people that he's a massive hypocrite.
She just felt
Will you yourself sign on to a lawsuit suing Walter for coercion?
No, I wouldn't. This isn't about me. This is about Daisy.
Yeah, but I'm asking you specifically. Would you do that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I don't know. It's like, you consented to everything. Maybe he was not moving the best. Is this really just a case of you kind of regretted the experience, or you had a bad time with this guy?
I don't regret the experience. I didn't have a really bad time with him. People should see that he's a massive hypocrite, and women should know.
What hypocrite? How?
A hypocrite how? He plays the red pill card, and he's going to go and tell a woman to have an abortion. Like he's a massive hypocrite.
I don't think red pillars are necessary.
Red pillars aren't pro-life or pro-abortion. It's generally I don't think it's a red pill prescriber to be pro-life or pro-abortion.
Necessarily against abortion.
They're about men stepping up as
Are they?
fathers.
Okay, if the kid is born, but there's nothing in red pill that says, hey, you shouldn't convince a woman to get an abortion.
I think so.
Is that a prescription of the red pill for?
I mean, all they talk about is high value men. And then stepping up.
So
I don't. Well,
she was just trying to help me, like as woman to woman, because she felt me, and something similar happened to her. So she
I
felt
wasn't
me.
even supposed to.
Yeah.
Does it sound logical to both of you from our end hearing this, that since both of you interlocked with the same man and you both had bad experiences with him, that because Daisy here saw this as an act of revenge, that you assisted her with it because you also wanted, in your own way, a little bit of payback?
That's not revenge or payback. I'm just trying to expose him as a hypocrite.
Yeah, no, but isn't that in and of itself some payback? Just a little bit of vengeance.
Sure, a little bit, but that's not
Yeah.
the intention.
Are you
Isn't
guys,
it though? Like, what would the opposite to the intention be if it wasn't to kind of get a little bit of revenge, a little bit of payback for what you feel like he did to you?
I mean, honestly, I don't really care. Like, I don't. Like,
What you do care though
right now, I don't. I really don't.
about what? The whole-
The whole situation. I'm like,
okay. So wait, if you don't care, then can I get a commitment from you here on out that you'll just cease attempting to expose Walter?
yeah, like this is the last time I'm talking about
Okay.
it. I have
Daisy, what about you? You down to just drop
sure.
it? They didn't ask me to do this, by the way. They don't even like me. This isn't even about me trying to like get in good with. Like I just.
I don't like Ryan either.
What the fuck? You're my Caucasian dude. How can you say that?
No, but all I'm saying is people see what happened here. I'm okay to take my accountability, but we also have to see my point of view. Why I did that in the beginning. There is a reason why I did that. It's not like he treated me good all of a sudden.
You did it. Yeah. No, you did it exactly for what Myron said you did was for revenge. Simple as that. You wanted revenge, and so that's it. Like because he didn't give you the house that he promised. You wanted revenge. Yeah, thank you.
I got some more questions though. You ready? Okay. Noel, you exposed that he likes. Can't believe it. You guys already put it out there. Why would you put this out there?
Stop with this fake. I can't believe I'm doing this. You're going on to talk about it. Obviously, you could just not talk about it. So don't like this is a fake.
You exposed that he likes nipple play. You call him gay. I think.
I said I don't know if he's bisexual.
That's private, intimate information. Why would you expose that?
That mean you banged a gay dude?
No,
that was speculation.
Not just her. I got other text message from his ex. His ex told me
about the.
I'm not saying that I believe that's true.
Nipples. I don't like it.
Could his ex want a little bit of revenge? Could his ex want a little bit of revenge as well?
But why is everyone trying to take advantage of him? Why? Asking why?
Well, it seems like there's a lot of
because he sells the dream, bitch. Like what is this?
Women who are out to get a little bit of revenge.
Why you gotta yuck his yum? Why you guys gotta yuck his yum? He likes it. Come on.
Most of the stuff.
Let's go nipple play. It's okay. Let the guy live a little bit. Let him live. What do you got, Daisy? Do you have anything, a little on the frisky side? I don't know. Maybe you like a guy to play with your knee or something. Some girls like have like oh, rub my knee, baby. I don't know. You got anything like that?
Yeah, I know that's not necessary to.
Like Daisy, if we were dating and you bought me a $30,000 purse, and we've been intimate, we've been dating, and you're like, Brian, I really like it when you touch my clap. See.
All right, I'm just skipping on because it's just some weird crap at this point.
You at 5640, you said you realize that having sex doesn't mean you're not traditional. You still hold the same traditional beliefs the man should provide. It doesn't make me not a Christian. I still believe in God. That's what you said, Noel, at the 5640 mark. And this is in reference to the fact that you hooked up fresh, pretty quickly. But I did want to offer a little pushback there. I would argue that having casual sex doesn't really fall into being like a traditional Christian woman.
Well, everybody sins. Everybody, even the best of Christians, they still do things that they're not necessarily supposed to.
Let me ask you a question. So let's say you met would you be willing to wait until marriage?
Last time we talked about this, that ship has sailed.
No, but what I'm saying is, let's say you met a fantastic, good value Christian man, and he wanted to wait until marriage. Would you be open to that?
Absolutely, but the issue is finding one that will wait till marriage, and those are almost non-existent.
Sure. But do you think it would be a hard sale to that kind of guy who has those kind of values to learn that you got flown out by top dog podcaster, you had sex with him, you stepped through his door, you guys basically got right down to business.
Within 10 minutes of showing up, you fucked him.
But they were talking for a while.
We were already talking before I came out there for a couple weeks.
And he also
it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you're talking for a while. Within 10 minutes of actually meeting this person in person, you are fucking him. Come on.
I feel like you wanted to make her a girlfriend.
Look, I actually don't, me personally, I'm not a big fan of waiting. But if you're going to like hold yourself out as like this traditional Christian woman, and then it's like you got flown out, it's,
That's the first time I've ever been flown out. And I've only had sex inside relationships.
That's not bad. It's because they're in the long distance. The only way she could do it is like...
If you're a Christian person with Christian values, yes, that's a bad thing. Sorry. Shut up, Daisy. You're fucking idiot.
Out to see him.
Okay.
Let me explain. I've only had sex inside relationships. I don't go having one night stands or hooking up with people. It's not a do guy every week. I find someone to commit to, and then yes, we have sex.
So let me ask you a question. So when you were on our show, you had just gone out of a relationship. If I recall, you were on our show in November of 2023.
I think it was October.
October, whatever. You'd broken up with him. I assume it was a sexual relationship. In December, you had a sexual relationship with Fresh.
Yes.
And then you said that you broke up 2 months ago, and you were again in a sexual relationship.
Yeah, I started dating someone in January, and then by February he proposed to me.
And were there any other sexual relationships at all?
No.
Okay. All right.
Hold on. So these two women apparently have had men give them such commitment that they felt safe enough to at least in Daisy's case, have a kid with a guy that she's only known for 4 months, and she was proposed to by some guy within 2 months. Does that make any sense to you, or do you think they're just giant fucking liars?
All right. I mean, just I'm a little confused here about the whole being traditional.
Well, I'm not drinking. I don't do drugs. I don't go out clubbing. I'm not shaking my ass on dudes. Like I'm not.
But you're fucking dudes prior to being married.
I'm very reserved.
But you did get flown out and smashed.
It's not a weekly
She didn't get thrown out. She just went to see someone she's into.
Fly out.
That's not.
Just a little bit of a fly out.
He played
Okay,
it's not like they just met first day. They were talking for a month. They were talking each other for a month. They would video call each other for a month. They actually had connections. That's why she flew out.
He played it off like he was trying to pursue me. And like I said in the last one, I'm very transparent when I start talking to a guy. I told him, look, I'm only interested in marriage and having children. So if he's going to lie and deceive, that's not on me. That's his problem. Okay.
It's your problem if you go and end up having sex with someone that you haven't gotten an actual commitment from.
I am a fool to believe him. That's on me.
And I do want to point out, you said you've been following their podcast for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that?
Like seriously, you followed their podcast for a while, okay, and you decided, oh, this random person who's telling me all these sweet things and that I like, I'm not going to watch a full episode and see maybe if they're bullshitting me. Like, you're just dumb.
Did you think that flying out to Miami and staying with this guy was not going to lead to sex?
I knew I was going to. We
Like,
already been talking.
like you knew it, right?
I didn't just talk to him one time fly out. No, we had.
Yeah, I mean, he flew you out there because you're gonna smash, right? Like that's what was gonna go down. You
That's
knew
what
it. You
guys
were gonna play
think.
out.
Women
You were
don't
gonna
think that. Women think romantically.
Oh, stop it.
And then she just admitted she knew the
What are you trying to
Fresh was
do?
probably like,
No, but she's not thinking just the sex. It's not just sex for her. For her, it was romantic. It was romance. It was connection between her and the guy. But for
do
guys,
you really think?
You
Do
watched the show.
you really think he was like, this was the guy you're gonna marry?
No,
Be
I
honest.
wanted to figure that out.
Yeah, you're like, oh, well,
Like, what are the odds that
I'm
you
gonna
thought that he
I'm going to figure that out. So okay.
was the man that you're gonna marry because you've seen the show before? Like, it should be quite obvious that
Like,
he's not married.
like, you know, he had 1,000 body count. Did you know
When
that?
I flew out to see him, I did not know that. And like I
You
said,
know
I didn't know about the Hail Mary video. I didn't know about a lot of stuff. I've only seen, like I said, the clips and the reels from the podcast.
But you didn't know about the 1,000 body count.
No, I didn't know that.
Because like you gotta think, right? If he's like, he might be selling dream, but if he's saying I got 1,000 body
I
count,
didn't know about
you're
that.
gonna, 1,001 is gonna
That's
be
lie.
that's gonna be the one that works out.
Like I said, I didn't know about the 1,000 body count until afterwards.
Okay.
why don't we play the Hail Mary?
I'll look at it and I'll take a look.
No, you promise.
Did I? Oh, play the
No,
tape.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
know if I
no,
promised.
I recall.
I'm not sure if I promised.
ignore
Hang on,
that.
hang on. I do think as we go on the show, Daisy, I'll let you know what he said. He said, I will take a look at it and review it before.
Yeah, but there's a reason why don't you guys play?
Because it's not pertinent to the conversation, because neither of you have actually like are saying this happened to you. That's the thing. Like all it is just trying to sully his reputation more. And again, it looks like more in a joking manner, if I remember correctly, if I'm remembering the video I'm talking about. You're just trying to sully his reputation more because you want revenge.
Because now, right now, you try to look us, make
Because
us
it
look
seems like
bad.
you're deflecting. You're
So
deflecting.
let's just play a video when Wolf
yourself.
admitted something. Okay, that's the proof.
And it's funny how you guys are
Well, wait,
labeling
You asked me to
what?
prove something. I'm proving to you. Play the video.
And in the video, what will we find? The proof of?
You will see.
I will see the proof of what?
I'm not.
Prove that it's a coercion.
Is this like about fake jewelry? Is that the thing?
That's the like
Part of
beginning part. You don't have to play that. Play the Hail Mary.
I don't know.
Why not? Like
I don't
let's just
think
be fair right here, because you guys are accusing us
Well,
of being a fool.
what do you mean fair?
Let's just be fair on both sides. If you want to defend him, okay, I have no issue.
I say play it. I say that whatever you play, I'll probably be able to review in 15 seconds. I say play it.
Okay,
I say
We want to be fair right here on the whatever podcast. I do not
I
want
wanna
to
see what else you
with
got to
any
say, like-
arguments. I do not want to contend with any arguments. They're not done in the fairest light possible. For some reason, I have a feeling though that whatever he's about to play is not going to be pertinent in any way to your situation. But still, I'm down. I'm game, Brian.
Okay, I'll play it in a moment. Let me finish my questions. We'll play it. But then we got to, Andrew, I'll give you 5-10 minutes if you
FYI, they don't end up playing it.
got any questions. But we got to be nice to the other panelists. We do.
Yeah, I agree. We do need more.
3 hours. Okay. Last thing, really
By
last
the way, they've
thing.
been very patient. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for waiting. If you guys want, well, we got some chips back there.
Salty
Reese's
crackers.
Pieces.
Hey, sorry about that.
Anyways, okay. Noel, you it seems like you do have a history of going public. You were dating another man, and you went public about that relationship.
Oh,
Like on your TikTok?
I would prefer not to bring that up.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
No, that was horrible.
Okay.
Oh, so she has a history of doing this. Huh. Seem a little hypocritical here, Noel. Well, you're like, like, oh, this is so like you seem to have a history of going public and talking about people during private shit. Seems I'm seeing a pattern here. Kind of not really giving you more credibility. Again, before we get into this and Andrew finally goes off and we end it. The Hail Mary video they're talking about, I believe what they're talking about is when Myron and Fresh are talking about that if a woman refuses it, doesn't want the abortion, isn't into the abortion, won't get abortion, they'd slip them a Plan B or an abortion pill in their food or something. That's the claim. Again, if I remember correctly, it was said in a very joking manner. They're really joking around and everything. It would be scummy to do regardless. Very scummy to do. They'd be very scummy people. I believe it's more of they were joking about it. That's what I think. And again, the reason it doesn't get played is because it's not pertinent to what Daisy and Noel are talking about. None of that happened. So it's not actually pertinent. If you tried to bring it into a court, it would be like, it'd be objected to and say, Judge, this has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with what we're discussing, okay? Because none of you are accusing of Fresh of doing this, okay? So it's not pertinent. It's just it's more prejudicial than probative.
You don't want to get into the details, just to be clear.
If public, like it's on my TikTok, nobody's exposed me for anything, and that was a very real situation, and that's why I feel for her.
Okay.
So it was.
Well, then I won't pull it up. But you said that he abused your reproductive rights. You said he became manic, threatened me, and gave me no choice but to lose my precious baby. So what do you mean by, and when you say lose your precious baby, I'm assuming
he dragged me by the hair into his car and drove me 2 hours away somewhere I didn't know, and literally forced me to get one. So I'm not going to talk about
Okay,
it
well,
anymore.
if that's what happened, that's obviously not acceptable.
I don't believe her for a fucking second. And also, even if it were true, that's a whole different situation than what Daisy's talking about. Completely different.
Yeah, it was physical. It wasn't coercion.
Okay, so
It was actually
forced you,
physical. I ended up in the hospital. So
Was there any component of like telling when you did get to the hospital being like, hey, I'm being fucking abused?
he threatened me. If I
Okay,
would say
all
anything,
right, well.
it was either my life.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her for a fucking second.
life or
Okay.
so.
Well, I do not
Show me the police report. I don't fucking believe you.
co-sign on that.
I don't co-sign on it, but I don't believe that that's actually happened.
I think we'll put the video. It's not deceptively edited though, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay. Yeah. Well, just to be fair, since you requested, I'm not going to just be like, here's all. You're not going to be allowed to share anything, not share any proof or anything. Just to be fair, Nick, I'm going to send this in the private chat.
No. I was just kidding.
Wait,
you two are fucking horrific, and these allegations are insane. We picked them apart in 15 seconds, and these other women have to wait patiently for us to get to them, and both of you need to get up where you're at and get the fuck out of here. You make me sick.
Wait, hey, Andrew,
I don't want to hear shit, Brian. I want out. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here with your bullshit false allegations. You both fucking suck. Your stories are bullshit. And by the way,
I thought you could calm down. Like, now you're taking your mask off.
Guy humped you, and he dumped you, and he
mask off now.
It wasn't a mask off. He was setting you up for a trap, like you tried to do with Fresh. You dumb bitch.
I'm finally showing your true color because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, shut up.
Thanks for showing.
I love that because you're a fucking idiot. No, he was tricking you. He was entrapping you like you tried to entrap Fresh. All right. Well, you attempted to. You didn't do it very well. But he's not an idiot because he picked apart all of your allegations and showed them for the flaw and made you contradict yourself 1,000 fucking times. So he's not an idiot. He's far more intelligent than you are.
That's who you are. We're not getting out. We're not leaving. We are not leaving. We're the guests here. We are not leaving.
Oh, you demand to stay? Well, then stay in silence while we get to the rest of the girl.
We're not staying silent because we're the guests here. That's the main reason why we're here. Why should we be silent?
Now you're unguested. I'm pulling rank.
Who are you?
Fuck out.
Who the hell are you to tell me that?
I'm the guy on this end of the screen. Get up.
You have no right and power. No, because you're afraid to play this video. You're not Walter. So shut the fuck up.
You're here on a visa from the Chinese government.
You are not the father. You're not the father. Are you the father? No, I don't. I'm not going to. See, this is the type of guy that's teaching you guys for being an irresponsible man. He's showing us that's who he is right now. Exactly the same as Walter Weeks.
You mean awesome in every way? I'm sorry that you went down and you couldn't entrap him in your little fucking CCP scam. I'm terribly sorry that happened. That you went down on a student visa. Fuck this guy. He nutted in you a ton of times by your own admission. You let him, and then you tried to entrap him. You released the recording, and it didn't go over.
Okay, then I should have keep the kid. Then I better keep the kid. Why did I keep the kid?
You tried to entrap this guy. Get it, lady?
Why did I keep the kid? I should have kept the kid. You don't have to believe me. Judge will. You don't have to because you're nobody.
Human dog shit.
You are shit. You are disgusting. I didn't like you for the first time I saw you because you hate women. You hate women. You understand? You have no respect for women. That's why you're here arguing right now. You
murdered your child.
Andrew.
Mother's Day. How do you like that? You murdered your kid. Happy Mother's Day, murderer. And the woman next to you, she agrees with me. How does that make you feel? How does that make the entire CCP feel that you're down here getting impregnated?
Now she may have a good point. Why didn't I keep the child if I was trying to trap him? Because you realize it wasn't gonna fucking work. Because you realize this is a guy who's gonna fight back, and odds are it wasn't his fucking baby. That's why.
And murdering your offspring. How does that make you feel, ladies? Does that make you feel good?
Chill, calm down.
Oh, she freaked out on him like 2 seconds ago. And now she's like, chill, calm down.
What the hell?
I think Brian should have kicked him off then because these chicks were completely in bad faith. They're bullshitting. They're lying. Say, fuck off. I got my clout for you. Go fuck off. But, it's Brian's podcast. And, he did, like his reasonings were sound. He's like, I invited you. You weren't really, rude or anything like that. And towards me, so I'm not going to kick you off, which is fine. I can respect his decision.
What's going on?
Wait, hold on. This whole CCP angle here is totally new to me. Are you involved with the Communist Party of China?
All right, so that that's it. Now I'm just gonna go forward and do. We're just gonna watch her get off.
Wait,
I have to go with her.
Wait, we're almost.
We came together.
Well,
Daisy's fortune cookie donated $20. All of your baby deleting cash grabbing scams will fail. Your lucky numbers are 10, 5, and 15.
Okay.
84 Maddie donated $20. Kelly and Maddie, can you please touch tips? Helmet tips.
We're too far from each other. For $50. Brent, what are you doing?
Real Trump donated $20. Kelly, you look like you.
All right. So they ended up rage quitting. What happened here was there was a segment where Brian lowered the talk to text speech to $20, and so it all just really came with just a bunch of roasting of Daisy, and that's why she ended up quitting, which was hilarious. So I think he should have kicked her off. The way he ended it still and got her to leave was just as good. So props to Brian. It was hilarious. I was watching that roast and it was fucking awesome. All right, so that's the end of it. That's all I got for you today. We've done a 3-hour. We almost did as long as oh shit, not that. That's not one. We almost did as long as the pod itself. Because I paused and talked a lot. But yeah, I love it. It was gorgeous, and due to this incident, and we can have Daisy thanks to this, because due to this incident, we may have some. Not that I really care, but we may have some kumbaya between Fresh and Fit and whatever, because Myron retweeted it, And let's see, someone said, I think it's time for a collab with at whatever Unplug Fit on Fresh and Pod. They got a lot of truth out of these 304s, more than them other simps. And Myron responded, "You guys have been asking for years. We'll make it happen." So, I mean, I guess you know, if if you think about it, there's some good that did come of this. That they were able to get some. Daisy was able to cause some kumbaya between Fresh and Fit and whatever. So I don't care either way, honestly. But yeah, and of course, the genius that is Andrew Wilson ended up just going off on them because they're all liars. None of her statements are believable. If you believe them, you're a fucking idiot. All right. She may have. She's like, oh, why didn't I keep the baby if I was trying to entrap him? Why did you ask him? Okay, and that's assuming you were even pregnant to begin with. Okay, let's just assuming you were pregnant to begin with. Okay. But let's say this, okay? Let's say that you were pregnant, okay? You were trying to entrap him, but turned out it wasn't going to be his baby because you were fucking someone else and got pregnant from them, okay? During this entire time because you're a fucking escort. And so instead, you realize, oh shit, this guy's actually going to fight back. He's not going to just accept that I'm telling him the truth. Fuck. All right, I guess I got to abort the baby because I know it's not going to be his kid. And like, what is this? Like, come on. And she told, and you know she's lying because she said she had an ultrasound at 4 weeks. Not possible. You can only get an ultrasound at 6 weeks, 6 to 8. As you know, I've had 2 so far. I've just forgot the weeks. I did look it up, but yeah, and then once I read that, I was like, oh yeah, it's always 6 weeks. It's always 6 weeks. You can get your first ultrasound to confirm you have a baby. So regardless, I'm still convinced she had. If she did have an abortion, it was April 5th. Went right prior to Fresh and Fit making their statements about it. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm assuming on Wednesday, Fresh and Fit are going to cover this. I think so. So if they do, I'm gonna see what they have to say about all this, and maybe Thursday, if they or whenever they do cover it, I'll do a reaction to that. But yeah, make sure you check me out in a couple hours, roughly 5. Yeah, roughly 6 hours. Come watch and see me do my the Trump trial day 16. Michael Cohen is testifying. I'm assuming he's going to be testifying tomorrow as well. I don't even know, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give me a follow. I hope you have a good day. Peace out, and I will see you all later. Peace.